said, "Hey, Joe, you want to come sing the anthem out at the game this week? Would you go?"
You're damn right.
Really?
Sure.
All right, Dave Gassaway, give Ryan Egel a call. He's ready to sing the national anthem.
Why not? Now, keep in mind, I'm talking about people that actually do that for a living.
Oh, okay.
Like Parker McCullum.
You could practice
like
for a week.
Ingrid.
You could practice for a week.
I could.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, if that's what you do for a living, then you ought to be able to nail it. I mean, I'm sure they sing other songs that are a little bit difficult, Parker. And why not just stick to, I don't know, Jingle Bells?
Wow, Jingle Bells.
Come on. Jeez.
Yeah, Ryan Egel hates Parker McCullum.
Well, I don't like that statement. I get it. Maybe he's got a little crush on Ingrid, trying to get with it.
I don't know. Somebody check and see if they're on the same record label. But the reality is, I agree with him. It's a hard song. If you don't think you could do it, say no. It's okay to say no.
It's okay to say no.
I would much rather you say no than see the crap that we saw the other night.
Well,
I'd rather not know who Ingrid is as opposed to knowing her for what I know her for now. She'll never get over that in my mind.
I felt bad for her and feel bad for her. But if she needed to go to rehab anyway, then maybe that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need to state the obvious for people to take a look.
Mm-hmm. Is that what it is?
Yeah, that's what it is.
Mm-hmm. We'll go with that.
Yeah. Well, Parker's not taking the shot for the game winner.
He's not.
I am. I'll take it. We got quite.
There's stuff going on in the studio. And again, if you're watching on YouTube, subscribe to the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel. Right now, you see a box with the letter J in there for James Pledger. We've got a new back-end system that we're testing out. It's probably going to be a cluster mess for, I don't know, because, but there's some things going on over there. And as we get ready for some other stuff that we'll unveil down the road, it's like a soft opening with the new background stuff. Other stuff is on the way. I don't know why they said, all right, let's do this today. Let's roll it out, boys.
Yeah, why not?
Well,
you got to roll it out sometime.
Well, that's it. And,
I'm assuming everybody on YouTube can hear us. You just can't see us.
Well,
that's my assumption.
Those types on YouTube, when they don't hear us, they type loudly that they can't hear us.
They let us know.
And on them all caps situations. But for those of you now, they're like, where is everybody?
Just trying to watch. I mean, I get the feeling our YouTube folks, they miss us. If they can't see our faces, Jason, it makes them, it kind of ruins their day.
Well, you're, lifelong TV boy.
Well, I guess that's it.
The reality is you roll in today in that ugly St. Louis Cardinal shirt, and the YouTube god said, we can't let that on.
Getting ready for the second half of the baseball season.
Mm-hmm.
Cards are just 4.5 games out of first place.
Yep.
So let's roll.
Yeah.
Now we got Ryan over here. He's just taking control of my computer completely. I don't know what the hell he's doing.
Well, what's he doing with your computer?
Well, he's got my mouse. He's clicking around on it.
It's never good when a guy just comes up and grabs your mouse.
Grabs your mouse and just starts clicking.
I mean, is it clicking or pointing?
He's clicking.
He's clicking.
He's clicking.
So
he's got the finger and he's popping it down, popping it down.
Right on your mouse.
On my mouse.
I mean, generally it's popping up.
Well, if it was somebody other than Ryan.
He's got the.
It is.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. Well, that sounded nasty. Do that again. No, you didn't do it. You were like more like, how'd you do that? Dude, I can't even do that.
Yep.
Wow. Oh, wow. Hey, I see myself there. I don't know why, but.
Oh, you do. Well, because he used the mouse and hit the right button.
We're waiting for the host to accept, apparently.
All right.
Look at that. Hey, everybody.
Oh, look at that.
Good to see you.
That looks like the wrong camera. Would you like my mouse there too? All right, now he's got my mouse. Good Lord.
Yeah.
Oh, he's done this. He's done that. See what he tries to do here. This is great radio.
It really is.
It really is.
If you're driving around San Antonio, we love you.
So what I've just realized, what he did, the first session that they sent us into, is the wrong one. See, he just went to a whole different email set.
That's what it is.
Oh, what happened was.
See, all right.
What?
Well, I can't switch cameras for some reason.
Right here, yeah. Let's see. Switch the camera over here.
Uh-huh.
That one. See, I got the fancy camera. Look at that.
You do?
Yeah. Well, I mean, my camera works.
Let's see. Webcam. Is that it, Ryan?
On-air tutorials brought to you by Alpha Media.
Yes.
And the new back end of our video component. Shut up, Pledge.
Phrasing.
I don't want to know where Ryan has that pointer going.
He's working those fingers, I'll tell you that.
He really is. I'm glad you said fingers.
Yes. Right on my mouse.
He's not working the back end right now?
No, not the back end.
I think what he's working on is the back end.
I got the
wow. Look at this.
What?
We got pictures.
Look at that.
How about that?
Like we're a real radio station on video. Now, I would love to tell you why we switched the back end and all the cool things that this new stuff can do. About 4 minutes into the meeting, I had no idea what they were talking about.
Yeah, well, no, and I don't want to know. This is just like back in the old TV days. Everybody, well, how's that camera work? And how's it? I don't know. I stand in front of it, I read the prompter, and look pretty. That's all I do.
2 out of 3 ain't bad.
Not bad, right?
2 out of 3 ain't bad.
So we're on. You can see the nice St. Louis Cardinal logo. I'm happy that everybody can see that.
Oh, yeah, that's lovely.
That's awesome.
That's lovely.
All right. Well, however you're watching or listening or participating, thank you for doing that. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. The Houston Texans have reported to training camp.
Yeah.
Let's talk some football coming up here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hey, before we talk football, let's talk a little poker. You want to do that? Because, look, if you haven't been to the Big Blind, why? I'm asking why. You need to get out there. You got to see this place. Whether you're a poker player or not, it really doesn't matter because they can teach you how to play poker. They also have blackjack tournaments out there as well. And it's just a great place to go. I tell you what, it is the swankiest place in San Antonio. When it comes to poker houses, it is the best. There is no question about that. And right now, tonight is a great night to go out there because they've got a great tournament. Every Wednesday night, it's their 6K tournament. Kicks off at 6:15, $60 buy-in. You got a $60 re-entry, and it's the best game in town. Plus, free play is back. Free time Wednesday with tournament entry. So they hope to see you out there tonight. You can go out there and eat. The food is fantastic. They got drinks. They'll serve directly to your table. And TVs all over the place. The Big Blind, locally owned and operated. It's from the owners of the Root Pub and the Angry Elephant. So get down there and check this place out. You have to. You owe it to yourself to head down to the Big Blind. You know where it is. Right down from the Root Pub and the Angry Elephant. Right there at 281 and Redland Road.
94.1. TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine is excited to announce a partnership that is revolutionizing access to care for orthopedic patients. The HURT app provides free 24/7 access to orthopedic expertise. HURT is the app to have before you need it. Don't wait for an injury to happen. Download HURT now for free, fast virtual access to orthopedic specialists. The HURT app is available online in the App Store and Google Play. Learn more about the HURT app and the OrthoNow Injury Clinic at tsaog.com.
Some people just know the best rate for you is a rate based on you with Allstate. And look at you, hands perfectly placed on the wheel. Not like the driver to the right of you who's really going after that drum solo. Save with DriveWise and the Allstate app and only pay a rate based on you.
Not available in every state, subject to terms and conditions. Rating factors and savings vary, and in some states your rate could increase with high-risk driving. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
When you've got real work to do, Metal Supermarkets will help you get it done fast. With a huge variety of metals in stock, we can help no matter what job comes your way. And all it takes is a few clicks. We make buying metal online easy, so you can spend less time shopping and more time getting things done. Metal Supermarkets, the convenience stores for metal. Place an order online today at metalsupermarkets.com.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
My friends swim no matter the season, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can sometimes take me out of the moment. Now, thanks to Skyrizi and clear skin, count me in. With Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. 3 out of 4 people achieve 90% clear skin at 4 months.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis, and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZZY to learn more.
It's Jason and Joe from the Blitz. Join us at Circa Las Vegas in August for the Circa Sports Ultimate Contest Weekend.
The Blitz will be live at Circa August 22nd and 23rd, and then we're staying for the weekend. Come to Vegas with us for the Ultimate Contest Weekend.
Circa Survivor and Circa Million are back. Enter in Nevada, play from anywhere.
So join the Blitz at Circa Las Vegas. More details and discounted rooms available online at sasportstar.com.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is The Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagle. I'm Jason Minix. On Twitter at Joe Reinagle 210. Tweet at me at Jason Minix. Cowboys report to training camp in Oxnard 1 week from today.
1 week from today.
The Houston Texans reported to a training camp in an air-conditioned building in Houston.
I hope so. Yeah. I hope it was air-conditioned.
They got AC
the
there.
Power going?
It's some places. I saw my buddy Grant Pinkerton post yesterday. He's told it still will be another week before they get power back at his place down by Rice.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. I know the governor came out and is about to spank those electric people on the hiney.
And I know the Center Point people who our good friend John McClain was hammering the other day. Did you see what they did with their CEO guy? Sat down to do an interview on a couch. And there's a thermostat above his head. And that thing was set at 70 degrees.
70.
Where they're telling everybody to be like at 70, 6, 8, whatever it is. You got people without power and you're sitting in a room at 70. Mm-hmm.
That's all right. I mean, that's what they do.
He'll take all the heat and go count all his money.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, so the Texans do have air conditioning in their building. It's scary to think that there are still places without power down in Houston.
It's ridiculous.
And when I saw that Pinkerton said down by Rice, that's just, I mean, it's one thing if you're kind of out in the, country somewhere and they just haven't got there yet or what. But I mean, down by Rice, there's people without power still.
It's incredible. Well, especially Rice. Aren't there a bunch of rich folks there?
Well, that's the crazy thing about Houston. There are parts of Houston that are really nice. And to get to those parts, you got to go through some really bad areas.
You do.
I mean, the zoning there is a little off. It's a little different. So, yeah. And I'm guessing Grant lives in a nice house down by Rice, but it's without power right now.
Well, that's the way it is. Houston's just a clown show anyway. But I feel bad for those folks because, well, no air conditioning. And it's hot in Houston.
Always.
I
mean, I remember when we used to go down to Texans training camp, you would sweat in places you didn't know you had.
Yes.
It's like when we go to Cowboys camp, we'll leave and, not this weekend, but next. And you got to pack for basically 2 weeks because what you wear during the day won't work at night because it gets so cold.
It gets cold, yeah.
When you went to Texans camp, you had to pack 2 or 3 sets of clothes because you had sweat through them before the morning practice. And I don't know about you, but I'd go shower before the show in the afternoon because I just didn't want to sit in that all day. The sweaty shirt.
Yeah, sweaty. The sweaty
and sweaty shorts. But as the Texans start this training camp, a level of excitement that hasn't been around Houston since, I don't know. I mean, you might say Deshaun Watson days.
I would say that, yeah.
But even then, I mean, you go back to Kubiak, you go back to Matt Schaub and Andre Johnson, Owen Daniel, and Arian Foster. I mean, J.J. Watt. I don't know. D'Amico was a pretty good defense player on those
I'd
teams.
Say he was.
Brian Cushing. I mean, remember when they had players?
They did
that you knew about, and you thought they had a chance. This year's Texans team has a chance. They'll be a sexy pick to make a run, although they're going to have a tougher schedule. And people will have film on C.J. Stroud and all those different kind of things. But this Texans team should be good. And for at least a week, because they're the ones practicing right now, they're going to get a lot of attention.
There's no doubt about it. They're going to get a lot of attention. And I think they would have gotten that anyway, a lot of attention. So it's I don't know what to think about the Texans. I do think they're going to be good. I really do think they're going to be good. The question is how good is that division going to be? I think that division is going to be better because I think Jacksonville will be better. I think Indianapolis is going to be better. Tennessee is going to be better. So that entire division, I think, is going to be better. And again, you mentioned it. The Texans have a much more difficult schedule ahead of them.
Well, it's all about the quarterback play, right? I mean, all the other things there,
sure,
it comes down to quarterback
90% of it for sure.
Chase Daniel, who held a clipboard for a long time in the NFL, South Lake Carroll, Missouri, good dude. And he's turning into a great broadcaster. He's got a podcast now with Diana Rossini of The Athletic. And, they're talking about with Case Keenum and everything about just how good C.J. Stroud can be going into year 2.
Case and I go way back. The very first question, we both get off our cars. Hey, what's up, bro? My first question, I said, dude, tell me about C.J. Stroud. And he said, verbatim, he said, he has the chance to be one of, if not the best quarterbacks of all time.
All time.
All time. And I said, look, I'm not crowning the guy.
Yeah.
But, I can see what he meant. And Case is a very straight shooter. He's played for a lot of different teams. But when he said that, my eyes sort of lit up. I sort of got goosebumps because I'm I love watching film. I love breaking down quarterbacks. And I can see what he meant. If C.J. Stroud can take that next step this coming year, they're going to be tough to beat.
Well, yeah, I mean, and who knows? I mean, Bo Nix might be the next Tom Brady, or I don't know, Dak Prescott might actually win a playoff game. I mean, what are we throwing stuff in the air and saying, well, he could be? Of course he could be.
Yeah. You know who they're not saying that about?
Who?
The guy that got picked number 1 overall last year.
Yeah.
They're not saying that about him. What's his name?
Caleb Williams.
No, that's this year's number 1.
Oh, you're talking about Bryce Young.
That's what I'm saying. When when you have a good year, everybody talks all the great things.
Of course. He could be one of the best ever.
Yeah.
Those are big words.
Those weren't said before the draft.
No, they weren't. In fact, if they would have been, I think C.J. Stroud would have been in Carolina and not in Houston. And then we might be talking about Bryce Young being the greatest ever.
It really is amazing how the situation
really
falls, isn't it?
Yes.
I don't know. It's gonna be fun to have the Houston Texans back in the conversation. Just it just will be. It will be a lot of fun. The idea of the All Texas Super Bowl, is not going to be a conversation this year because of Dallas, not because of Houston.
Don't even get me started with that, because it leads me back to the Buffalo Bills.
Oh yeah, those guys.
And the Houston Oilers.
Yeah.
And when
so close.
It should have been
such a Houston thing to do.
An all Texas Super Bowl that year, and the Oilers would have kicked the Cowboys' ass. I'm convinced of it. Best team Houston ever had.
Yeah.
So we'd only be talking about, 35 years since Dallas won a Super Bowl.
Math is hard. I understand. And
it is. Yes,
it is funny as you say it that way. You know, all you non-Cowboy fans that are Houston fans, although you bailed with the Oilers and went to Tennessee, and talk about how long it's been since the Cowboys have won a Super Bowl, when there's not a single Lombardi trophy in the history of Houston.
1 yard.
1 yard?
1 yard, man.
What was that, 98?
I don't remember.
The Titans had a chance, lost to the Rams?
Yeah.
I think it was 98, 99,
something like
there.
that. It was still Kurt Warner and the greatest show on turf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. 1 yard away.
1 yard.
Yet, you know, the 5 that the Cowboys have, you know, means nothing. But the team that has not even sniffed that.
No, they sniffed it.
Well, not in Houston.
No, not in Houston.
But Tennessee, they at least got there.
They did.
But Houston, I mean, you got to go back to the Sugarland Express, you know.
The Sugarland Express. Wow. A Sugarland Express mention.
I mean,
well, look,
Ken was a great guy.
Great
running back.
I think, and I love what the Texans have done with Stephon Diggs and Pledge. What's the guy's name? The defensive guy from Minnesota. I think we overlooked that guy.
Danielle Hunter.
That guy. I think we overlook him. He may have been a bigger piece than Diggs.
It's possible.
Sincerely, I mean, that guy is going to help that defense a lot. But let's pump the brakes a little bit before we start declaring C.J. Stroud's the best quarterback to ever play the game, and we'll see how he does this year.
Is that Sark talking already? Oh, he's talking a little early, huh? I thought he was supposed to start at 2:30.
It was.
Oh, 2:20. Oh, so he started right on time. All right.
We're talking about Steve Sarkeesian.
Yeah.
That guy.
Yeah.
Head coach of the Texas Longhorns.
Absolutely.
Uh-huh.
And you could tell, too, man, he is wearing orange.
Orange?
I mean, orange. He's got an orange coat. He's got an orange tie. I can't tell if it's a lighter orange undershirt or if that's an off-white shirt, but whatever. It's off-white, Pledge? All right. Yeah, it's all orange up there at the SEC Media Days. That SEC logo looks good with the burnt orange background. I like how they did that. Let's talk about.
Wish I could see it. I really can't see it.
Well, it's on the TV over yonder.
I'll just keep it.
It's not on the TV
no,
in here.
It's not. But
yeah, you know, I know we were going to try to bring some of what he was saying live. How long has he been up there? 8 minutes already? Not even. Has he talked about horns down yet? Because that's all that we really want to know about. Is he upset about horns down? No? All right. We'll hear from Sark coming up on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Have you made plans for the weekend yet? Well, you got time to make a tea time out at the Golf Club of Texas. You really should do that because, look, if you haven't been out to the Golf Club of Texas lately, you haven't been out there. The place is new and improved. The improvements that they're making at the Golf Club of Texas are incredible. Brand new golf cart paths going in out there. They've resodded the entire golf course, and it really looks like one of those plush country clubs, but it's not. It is open to the public 7 days a week, and the Golf Club of Texas offers some of the best course conditions in town with the friendliest staff. And let me tell you about all the other things that are happening out at the Golf Club of Texas. One thing is the Tin Cup. It is the best sit-down restaurant in that part of town, and it's not going to break the bank to take the family out there to eat. The food is also fantastic. It is incredible. It's the Golf Club of Texas. It's right there off Briggs Ranch Road off Highway 90. They also have special events. In fact, this Friday, for example, July 19th from 7 o'clock to 10 o'clock, Crossfire will be singing and performing out at the Golf Club of Texas. So make plans to head out there on Friday night for Crossfire between 7 and 10. Right there off Briggs Ranch Road and Highway 90, whether it's for dinner at the Tin Cup or around with your buddies, your next tournament, go check them out. Best rates are always online at golfclubtexas.com. That's golfclubtexas.com. The Golf Club of Texas, the friendliest golf course in Texas.
Will CeeDee Lamb show up for training camp or hold out for a new deal? San Antonio Sports Star is live from Cowboys training camp in Oxnard, California, with the answer to that question and others. Team coverage brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds and Southern Recipe Pork Rinds begins Monday morning, July 29th. South Texas, home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Okay, if you're sleeping on the hot summer styles and great prices at Kohl's, you're missing out. I just shopped there and scored stylish shirts for my husband, along with some cute crochet dresses for myself. Plus, I saved 30% with my Kohl's card. But even if you don't have one, you can still save an extra 20% on some other great finds and earn Kohl's cash. So what are you waiting for? Take your summer style from hot to sizzling and get to Kohl's. Select styles, 20% off GPO, valid through July 21st. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
Total Wireless is made to totally keep up with you. We now have unlimited data that never slows you down. Covered by the Verizon 5G network. And for less than $30 a month, we make your phone your ride or die. Switch now and pick a free 5G phone with qualified plan purchase. And your fourth line at no additional cost. Visit your local Total Wireless store today. Total Wireless, we're totally with you. Actual speeds may vary by location. For data management practices, see TotalWireless.com.
Over the past decade, the RuPub has proven to be the best place to watch games with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. All the games, all the UFC fights, and when you show up at the RuPub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and certainly the best place to watch a game. The RuPub is next to the Angry Elephant and in the same plaza as the Big Blind there at 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Ru.
The biggest pro football contests in Vegas are back. Circus Survivor and Circa Million are now up to a record $16 million in guaranteed prizes. 2 ways to win and no rate. Circus Survivor contestants select one team each week with no point spread. Last the longest to win it all with $10 million guaranteed. In Circa Million, make 5 picks against the spread each week for your share of $6 million guaranteed through quarterly and full season payouts. Enter in Nevada. Play from anywhere. Visit circusports.com for details.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees, and rare barrel-aged whiskeys are served just the way you want them. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch? Every day, from lunch to late night. Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Get wings the way you want them. Try Twin Peaks wings bone-in breaded, naked, smoked and grilled, or boneless in your favorite sauce or rub.
George gets justice. At George Salinas Injury Lawyers, our motto is simple. George gets justice. But what does that mean for you? It means you get an award-winning team of attorneys who will fight for everything taken from you so that you can get back to what matters in life. When we say George gets justice, it's just not a motto. It's a commitment to you. Call us at 210-225-0909 or visit getgeorge.com. George gets justice.
George gets justice. GetGeorge.com.
The Morning Huddle.
The best thing about Whataburger is they make it to order. The worst thing about Whataburger is they make it to order.
Truth.
Just so you understand that.
I get it, but how long can it take to scramble a few eggs? Come on. I get that with a burger, but scramble up some eggs, throw them in a tortilla. That's the easiest thing.
You still don't get it. You'll get it.
You think, right?
The Morning Huddle with AJ and Rob. Weekday mornings, 6 to 10. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
I'm AJ Hoffman from The Morning Huddle. Join me and Rob Thompson tomorrow morning at 6. What's the latest with the Cowboys, and are they even ready for the season? It's all right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minnick. On a Wednesday afternoon, Sark still going at SEC Media Days. We want to listen in to the head coach of the Texas Longhorns.
Absolutely, we do.
And one of the first signs I saw was a quote that I've put up now in my office that I'll always and forever hold on to. The pride and winning tradition at the University of Texas shall not be entrusted to the weak nor the timid. And that's not going to change now that we've changed conferences. We're going to go attack this thing. Like I said, we've got a ton of respect for this conference and the teams in this conference, but we're going to go attack it, and we're going to go try to win a conference championship, because that's why we're at the University of Texas. So we're looking forward to it. We're looking forward to renewing rivalries with Texas A&M and with Arkansas. We're one of the few schools with realignment that has benefited from realignment, that we've gotten some rivalries back. And so we're looking forward to those things as well. And it's going to be a great year. We're looking forward to it. Thank you. Hook 'em.
Okay, if you have a question, please raise your hand.
See, this is the good part of it. I don't need to hear his opening statements. I just want to get to the Q&A.
Sark, hi, Dennis Dodd, CBS Sports. I think we all totally get why Arch would come to Texas and basically face the prospect of perhaps sitting for 2 years, you know, the support system he's got, everything. But I wonder if you could just recount what that conversation was like. That may be the case, that you're going to get the training, you're going to get enough reps and experience here to get where you want to go.
Well, I think that's something, you know, historically for us, you know, part of recruiting is your track record. And we've been fortunate to coach some pretty good quarterbacks. We've been fortunate to do it for kind of some decades now. We've been fortunate to have some pretty good quarterback rooms. And I think the Manning family is pretty well aware of that. And I think they trained Arch to try to put himself in the best position to try to play in the best conference in America, and then ultimately put himself in the best position to, further his career playing in the National Football League. And so with that, you know, I think Arch's development has been important to the family, and he's reaping the benefit of those things. And so it hasn't been very difficult at all. I think it's been pretty simple for him.
Coach, we're going to go straight in front of me, about 4 rows back. Kirk.
Kirk Bowles from the Houston Chronicle. You haven't used a big rotation in your receivers, it seemed like, and with good reason. You don't want to take Xavier and AD off the field. But with so many in the portal, so many young receivers coming in, including Wingo, might you expand your rotation and play more of them, or it just makes it more competitive in practice?
I think it's probably twofold, Kurt. We are gonna play more receivers. I think the length of the season, and because of not having all of the rapport with Quinn, some of that I have to feel out as games go. It is a very talented room for sure. And we've got 3 great transfers. When you talk about Isaiah Bond, Matthew Golden, Silas Bolden, 3 really experienced, good football players that came from good programs. We had signed a very good class the year before with Jonte Cook, DeAndre Moore, and Ryan Niblett. And then with this incoming class, I think it's pretty fair to say Ryan Wingo's a really good player for us. And so to think that I've got 7 quality players there, now, is it going to be a 7-man rotation? That'll bear itself out. But I do think we'll play more players than we have in the past. We'll rotate more guys than we probably have in the past. And then as we work ourselves through the season, when you start playing this many games, I'd love to tell you we're not going to get injuries. Injuries are going to occur. So we're going to play more players probably earlier in the season than we have, just because you don't have some of that experience that we lost from a year ago. But this isn't a lack of talent. This group is very talented, and by far and away our deepest receiver core that we've had in 4 years.
Coach, we're going to go to the section to your right.
Listening to Steve Sarkeesian's press conference there at the SEC Media Days, the important Q&A part of it, the good stuff.
There's a lot of Heisman hype with Quinn and Carson Beck. How does his demeanor make him ideal to deal with all that external noise?
You know, I think Quinn's probably like the coolest guy in the room. You know, he doesn't get caught up in what a Heisman hype. Probably if you asked him, would he even know? You know, he's just not caught up in that stuff. When Quinn gets free time, he's going to go hunt or he's going to go fish. You know, when he's here, he's going to work, you know, and he's just working on his craft. He's being with his teammates. And so even in game, when you think about Quinn, when he shows those moments of emotion, right, on a great throw, it's almost like shocking to people, because even when the bad moments occur, he stays so calm and so cool in the moment that with the hype, I just don't think we have to worry too much about that. You know, he's more focused on trying to win a championship, playing the best football he can play, being the best leader, the best teammate he can be. That's probably more important to him than what award might be down the road, because some people are saying he might win it. I mean, there's so much football to go play. I don't think he's worried about it at all.
Go stay in that center section on the right-hand aisle, Kylie.
Sark, Ralph Russo from the Associated Press. I know you probably would have loved to have hit the ground running and won 12 games in year one, but what changed over those 2 years building up to year three? Why was year three so much different? Why did it click?
Well, I think part of it was our culture. We had to keep building our culture, the things that were important to us, right? And that takes time. It takes time to learn the schemes. You bring in coaches and you have an idea of what you want to run, and that's nothing against a previous staff, but maybe they didn't recruit the types of players that fit what we wanted to be and how we wanted to play. So that takes time too. There's development of players in your program. And so, hey, I'll tell you this much, 5-7 in Austin, Texas sucks. That was hard. That was hard on me. That was hard on players. That was hard on a lot of people. Mm-hmm. Okay, 8-5. Was a little more palatable for people, right? But as you continue to stay committed to who you are, and you stay committed to your course of action, you stay committed to what you believe in, over time you start to reap the benefits of that. With that comes sometimes you have to, people that were supposed to be good players when you arrived maybe aren't playing as much, and maybe the guy that fit you a little bit better, you have to recognize and you have to play him a little bit more. But everybody earned their opportunity in our program over the past 3 years, and the beauty of it has been our players recognize that, and then now they know the process to go make it work. I was telling somebody earlier today about a story about the leaders on our team. When we had Bijan Robinson and Roschon Johnson, everybody raved about their leadership ability, but we only had a couple of leaders. Last year, we raved about the leadership of about 5 or 6 guys, Jordan Whittingtons of the world, right? Byron Murphys of the world. This year, I could probably tell you I got 25 leaders because these guys have grown up in our program. They don't know any different than our culture. And so now when I don't even have to speak very long about what we believe in, because they live it every single day and I watch them live it every single day. And so that's the process, right? You're trying to develop leadership. Well, leadership takes time to develop. You just don't anoint a guy a leader if he doesn't believe in the core values of the organization.
Steve Sarkeesian talking at SEC Media Days as we're listening in live here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. Maybe a couple more here from Sark.
Last year, you talked a lot about the versatility of the team and helping you win games with JB gone and the receivers.
Somebody's got to ask him about horns down at some
somebody
point,
has
right?
to. Natural evolution for the offense.
Kind of like not asking Chris Paul what number is he going to wear during his press conference.
Our good buddy Bob Ballou will do that.
Coach Norvell at Colorado State, what we're going to do in week one. Part of it is we always try to stay on the cutting edge. I never want to get stale offensively. And I know what I said earlier, we're going to be who we are. But with that comes all of the subtle tweaks and things and formations and motions and personnel groupings and how do you group people the right way and to take advantage of it. Part of that is trying to play your best players. All right. Part of that is how do we tax the defense? And so we do have a very versatile offensive team. The fact that we've got very versatile runners. We've got versatile tight ends. The addition of Amari Niblack has been great. Juan Davis, who I've been so impressed with coming out of spring ball and this summer. Gunnar Helm, we found out a lot about him when JT went down last year. We use an extra tackle at tight end some. So we try to do a lot of things to people to make them prepare for it. And then in game, what are we going to call that game that maybe they didn't practice quite as much, or, hey, they have a deficiency here. Let's go attack that a little bit more. So I'm not trying to avoid the question, but sometimes it's we implement an offense and then we tap into different aspects of it from week to week that we think, behoove us to be successful.
So we're going to go into the section to your right, just midway back. Olin.
Yeah. Olin Buchanan, Texas coach, you have the unique experience of having coached in the Iron Bowl and the Red River Rivalry. Now, last month in Destin, your athletic director said the Texas-Oklahoma game was a bigger game, a bigger event than the Iron Bowl. So what is it about that game that makes it a bigger event than the Iron Bowl or other SEC rivalry games?
Well, I think this, and I've been fortunate. Like I said, I've been part of the Iron Bowl. I've been part of the Apple Cup in Washington. I've been part of SC, UCLA. I've been part of some great games. This is the most unique game for sure that I've ever been a part of. When you pull into the state fair and you start smelling those corn dogs and turkey legs and there's fans from both teams and then you get in those locker rooms and the locker rooms literally are 20 feet apart and you're staring at each team and one goes first, the next one goes next, and it can get a little contentious in there, but that's okay. And as we come out of that tunnel, and that's OU's tunnel, and we're staring at a sea of burnt orange, and you just want to get there. And it's a unique game because half of the game is a home game. The other half of the game is a road game. And I had to learn that the hard way in year one. We got stuck in OU's end, and we were false start, and we couldn't do anything right. And so you have to play to that style of game. But it being split right down the 50, it's the who's who on the sidelines. And I'll tell you this about both teams. Both teams play as hard as they possibly can play in that game. And again, that's to take nothing away from any other great game that I've been part of, but this one is uniquely special. I think Norman's about 2.5 hours from Dallas. We're about 3 hours from Dallas. And the fact that we kind of come upon the state fair here in Dallas is really special. And so it's a game that I'm humbled and honored that I get to be part of. I'm getting to go coach in my 4th one, and looking forward to the opportunity.
Mitch, we're going to go over to the right side on this near aisle.
Sean, J. Roger from CBS Sports. Coach, you mentioned rivalry games, of course. Since you've been here, what have you heard about the Texas A&M rivalry, and what kind of buzz is there for this game coming back?
Well, it's a great game. It's a game that, like I said, divides households, and one that, it's interesting. Our players, I listen to our players talk sometimes, and they're like, our players are probably way more excited for this game than most fans would probably think because we haven't played the game in a while. But the majority of the players on our 2 rosters probably went on visits together at, if not one school, both schools. And one guy chose Texas and one guy chose A&M. And so I think there's a great deal of excitement. I know Coach Elko's done a great job in that program in a short time being there. It's going to be a great environment in Kyle Field Thanksgiving weekend. So we're definitely looking forward to it.
Steve Sarkeesian talking at the SEC Media Days. And, let's underscore that last question and the answer from Sark and talking about the OU game. With all of the expansion that we've seen in movement in college football, a lot of great rivalries have died. They're ending.
Yep, that's true.
But with Texas moving to the SEC, it's the rebirth of the rivalry with A&M. It's the rebirth of the rivalry with Arkansas. This is a move that's actually allowed rivalries to come back. And hearing Sark say that, I appreciate, and I don't know that that's lip service, because growing up, it was one or the other when you were a kid. But the kids that are playing college football today, because the rivalry's been dead for a decade, they're not old enough to have remembered what it was like when Texas played at Texas A&M. Sure, you grew up, one was in the SEC, one was in the Big 12, and they never played each other. So, so hearing that the players are as excited, and I don't think that was lip service from Sark, that's exciting. Now, they're excited for a different reason, because like he said, players on both sides were recruited by both schools and you picked one. But I like that idea, because going to the SEC, these rivalries are coming back, where you look around the rest of college football, you see a lot of great rivalries that have died because of the movement.
Well, the only people that remember the Texas-Arkansas are old guys like us.
Well,
nobody remembers that. Well, you obviously remember it.
No, I was told.
Yeah, you were told.
My granddad told me stories.
Exactly my point that I'm getting into. I'm glad you fell right into that trap.
Trap.
Because that's why they're excited. Their parents were excited about Texas A&M. Their parents told them about that. I mean, I know there are players that come from different parts of the country, but if you're from Texas, I promise you, and you're a football player on either the Texas A&M squad or the Texas squad, your parents have been telling you about that. You've been hearing about it, wanting to bring that back. You've been hearing about Texas A&M running away from Texas for all these years, and you're excited about it.
You're excited. Dude, you think about the Longhorns' schedule this year. And I know we've talked about it and thought, but you put it in the perspective that Sark just did, following up a question about the OU game to a question about getting A&M back on the schedule. You add in Arkansas, and man, that's awesome. I mean, to have 3 games like that where most programs have no more than 2, where it's the big rivalry, throw the records out the window, all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? I'm excited. I'm so ready for football.
Well, what I like about it is that you're going to develop new rivalries. Why couldn't Texas Georgia become a big rivalry? It can. Right? Texas LSU. It's right there across the border. I mean, so all of these things I think will happen, and you'll get new rivalries develop. I think Texas A&M and LSU has become somewhat of a rivalry game for those schools.
They've tried to make it that. I mean, when Texas left, or SEC, when A&M left for the SEC, and that game left the schedule, the LSU A&M game, I think they've tried to make that the Thanksgiving weekend rivalry.
Yes,
and to a degree, it's kind of there, but it's kind of not. That, what was it, 7 overtime game?
Yes.
That certainly helped, but I don't know that it has the same as, and it's nowhere close to Texas. I mean, they've tried to make it that.
You got to give it time.
Well, sure, and there's
like anything.
There's not enough time. That's the problem. I mean, you got Alabama and Auburn. You've got the Iron Bowl. You got the Egg Bowl. There's so many games with great nicknames, and you think about college football rivalries. I mean, the fact that I just got an email. We're 150 days away from the Army-Navy game.
Wow.
And it's the email to book our flights, by the way. But even those, I mean, like, all right, we're going to change, but we're still playing the Army-Navy game, right? Yep. We're not messing with that rivalry. And you think about all the great ones, and some have left because of realignment.
Some have.
Others are able to survive, and Texas has 2 that are being reborn, which is phenomenal. And they're going to be on the schedule every year. That's the problem. Like you say, Texas, Georgia, will they be on the schedule every year? I mean, it's kind of amazing. How many times has A&M played Georgia since they've all been in the SEC? Like 2 or 3 times at most?
Can't recall, but they do have that annual game with Alabama that they've been playing just about every year.
And they get South Carolina a lot. Like initially it was like, all right, A&M, South Carolina, you guys are going to be at. Why? But it was a while before they got Georgia, and I think A&M, and you Aggies will quickly correct me. Have you guys only gone to Georgia one time? And that was like 2 years ago.
I'll be honest with you, I can't remember an A&M Georgia game.
Well, I know it happened, and again, I just go with my buddy John Robbins.
Yeah,
he has tried to go to every one of the big SEC road games to follow the Aggies, and I think he's only been to Georgia once. I mean, and granted, most of those trips are disappointing for him, but he makes them, the faithful. And it's probably not a bad thing that you haven't had Georgia on the schedule a bunch. But,
it's probably a really good thing.
But it is. So it's like Texas this year gets Georgia right out of the gate at home. But will they be on the schedule every year? Because that's the only way to really make it a rivalry.
But it needs to be on the schedule every year.
Well, I mean, you say that, but so does Oklahoma. So does A&M. Apparently, so does Arkansas. I mean,
come on. They don't have to. Arkansas doesn't have to be.
I mean,
nobody remembers Arkansas unless you're my age. I mean, quite honestly, I'm not going to look at Texas, Arkansas and go, whoa, can't wait to sit down and watch that game.
I mean, remember before the 70s? I remember watching them on black and white.
Southwest Conference, for goodness sake.
Absolutely.
I don't consider that a game that I'm going to watch. OU, Texas, yes. Texas A&M, Texas, yes. Other than that, I'm going to be more excited about that Texas-Georgia game than I am about that Arkansas game.
But again, Georgia, because they've been dominant the last 5 years.
Well, sure. I'm more excited about Texas-Vanderbilt on the road in Nashville.
Can
the Horns survive?
You just want a road trip to Nashville.
Exactly.
You just want to go party on Broadway.
Yes.
And if you get too drunk and miss the game, you won't miss anything.
And the problem with that is
not
exactly
nothing,
right.
Nothing. Nothing.
So I'd like to give the Arkansas faithful a lot of, props and this is coming back.
The Hogs?
Because they suck.
Wow.
That's why.
But
and there's no rivalry there at all. It's gone. It's gone. It died 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 50 years ago.
Dude, how old are you?
Dude, when's the last time Arkansas and Texas was a rivalry? It was in the 70s in the Southwest Conference.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's no rivalry.
But
they want to build it back. It used to be.
And it could be again.
Well, it could be. So could
maybe.
Texas and Mississippi State. Who knows?
Let's not get ridiculous.
I'm just saying. Come on, Arkansas. They're trying to make something out of nothing.
Isn't that what we do?
Are you excited about Arkansas?
No.
I wouldn't.
I mean, sure I am.
Of course you are. Yeah.
No. I mean, A&M, yes. OU, the fact that didn't die, yes.
Yes. And that one should be every year. A&M's every year. And then you mix in some others. But I just think that I really think LSU needs to be on Texas' schedule every year. That should become something. I mean, you're right there. You're neighbors.
Neighbors.
People can drive to LSU, 5 hours?
Dude, people drive all over the country.
I'm just saying.
They're not all spoiled like you. If Southwest doesn't go there, I'm not going.
Well, exactly. That should be a rivalry.
You don't even want to drive to Austin.
Arkansas.
You should have heard this dude. He went to a buddy's ranch out in Florence, near Florence. He was bitching about the traffic.
Took me an hour to get to New Braunfels, for goodness sake.
Yeah.
New Braunfels.
Yeah. Do you want to drive to Dallas?
No, I didn't. I'm not driving to Dallas. Southwest flies right in there, buddy.
Good Lord.
Passes all of that traffic. If they just get a little helicopter to take me to New Braunfels, I'll be happy about it. It was ridiculous on Saturday how bad the traffic is out there.
See, I told you.
It's awful.
Get this. I mean, start bitching about traffic.
It was terrible.
It was awful. Awful.
You don't know.
What do you mean I don't know?
You didn't drive to New Braunfels Saturday?
I did not.
Okay.
But I've lived here long enough to know that traffic between here and San Marcos sucks.
And then from San Marcos to get to the toll road.
Somebody asked me the other day, like, are you going to go see Green Day in September? I was like, no, it's like a Tuesday in Austin. Well, that's all right. I can get off work at 6. I wouldn't make it to the show till 9 o'clock, which is about the time they'd get on. But no.
No, you wouldn't make it.
No.
It's terrible.
Terrible.
Somebody needs to do something about it.
Like a high-speed rail? We've had those discussions.
Dude, that would take forever.
So is I-35 traffic.
Yeah.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star.
Hey, let me tell you about Stevens Roofing. Speaking of things that, affect where you live and what you do, well, the weather, right, affects your roof, the heat, the rain, all of that stuff that we've had. We've had a lot of that lately, and now it's really just getting hot because it is the middle of July, and that can cause some problems to your roof. And you want the best to take care of that because that is probably arguably the most important part of your house is your roof because it just covers everything that you have, including your family. And there is only one name in roofing that stands high above the rest. That is Stevens Roofing. Look, a quality roof overhead by Stevens Roofing means comfort. It certainly means confidence. And then there's peace of mind. You need that protection for all of those things that you love. So when you're in the market for repairs, a replacement roof, an upgrade, or you just need an inspection, it's been a while. You want to make sure that that roof is okay, especially as we head into the winter months. Call Stevens Roofing. They are local. They've been in business here in San Antonio and South Texas for so long, and that means they've got a long list of very happy customers. Work with Stevens Roofing, whether it's a home in a neighborhood or a commercial project. They do that as well. Stevens Roofing. Remember this number, 210-785-0994. You can also get them online at stevensroofing.net. But don't forget them. You're going to need them one day, and you want the best. Stevens Roofing, 210-785-0994.
You're listening to The Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6, KTFM Floresville, and everywhere at sasportstar.com.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit revivemenshealth.com.
O'Reilly. Need a little help? O'Reilly Auto Parts can help. Need advice? We've got advice. No matter what you need, we have thousands of professional parts people doing their part to make sure you have it. Exceptional customer service. Just one part that makes O'Reilly stand apart. The professional parts people.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
If you're looking to move out of your parents' place, you could really cut expenses by bundling your car and renter's insurance with Progressive, which is good because your little brother has gotten really territorial. You're blood related. You'd think it would be fine to share food in the fridge. I mean, who writes their name on every individually wrapped slice of cheese, Tyler? Still, you've got to admire the commitment. So bundle your renter's and car insurance with Progressive and use the savings to help you move out and have all the cheese you want. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company. Coverage provided and serviced by affiliates and third-party insurers. Not available in all states.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body? Huh? That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the second largest organ of my body? The first is my heart. Old Spice. Men have skin too. Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash. 24/7 renewing moisture with daily use.
The light is fading, your hands are sore, and the last tool's been put away. Now is the time to feel the satisfaction that comes with a job well done. But when you get your tools from Harbor Freight, something about the job feels a little different. Your wallet. Because we believe that everyone deserves hardworking tools at hardworking prices. And that's what we have here. So, whatever you do, do it for less at Harbor Freight.
94.1 FM. San Antonio's Sports Center.
It is football season. The Houston Texans became the first NFL team to report today, and there will be many others. But they also added a wide receiver. Remember Quintez Cephas? He's the guy that's coming off the year-long suspension for gambling. Spent the last 3 seasons with the Detroit Lions. The Spurs are 3-0 in that Las Vegas Summer League. They won last night. They'll play again against Philadelphia. Tip-off set for 7:30.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Guess what day it is?
Joe Reinagel.
That's the 3rd time in 7 seasons. The San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Mike. What day is it, Mike? Hump day.
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 Yeah. Here we go. Happy hump day, everybody. Yeah. It's a camel pledge.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 as San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Glad to have you along on this Wednesday afternoon.
Very happy day. You know, there's something about a hump day Wednesday that's just, it's a happy day.
You know, it's an even better day when you realize it's kind of Friday.
For some it is.
You know, I mean, I not that I didn't know that, but I just got to notice that you could check into the hotel now, and it's like, oh yeah.
Oh wow, nice. Yeah. Why do you want to do that? You're not going to be there till tomorrow.
You could check in now. I mean, you will I? Sure.
Whatever happened to
happened to what?
To the days where, you know, you get to the hotel, you go up to the counter, you check in there. I mean, you know, you miss all that stuff.
Do you?
Of course.
Do you really?
Yes.
I mean, the idea that I can land in New York tomorrow, land at LaGuardia,
right?
And because I'm about to, oh yeah, I check in now.
Right.
And before I land, my room key will be ready. My room will be assigned. And all I got to do is walk into the hotel, go to the elevator, go up to my room and throw my stuff in. And I don't have to go wait at a counter.
Well, what's the fun in that?
What do you mean? What's the fun?
No fun in that.
I mean, imagine, and I know you get to the hotel. I'm trying to think the last time we were standing in line at a hotel together. Might have been last year when we went to the Rangers game. And there's a long line and we're waiting. We're like, well, this is stupid. There's got to be a better way. They've come up with it. I don't have to go to the front counter to check.
Now, you sure your room's how you going to know your room's ready?
Well, when you sign up on the app, when your room is ready, they'll send you the digital key.
So, but it may not be ready.
Well, if it's not ready when you get there, then you either say, hey, can I get a different room? Or I'm in New York. It's not like I want to spend time hanging out of the hotel. I'm gonna leave my stuff with you guys when the room's ready. When I come back, I'll get my bags and go find the room. Right?
That's great. I just, the old-fashioned way.
The old-fashioned
way. Although I don't do that either, because typically when I go somewhere, I don't check in on the app. The room's just ready.
The room's just ready.
It's just ready.
But what if you have to stand in line and wait for the person to check everybody in?
Well, then that's okay. I mean, that's part of the experience.
You are too impatient for that, Ryan.
Part of the experience.
Everybody listening knows you are full of crap as you say that.
When we go to Circa at the end of July
or August,
yes, we're going to Oxnard first. Where the hell are we going?
Mississippi, California? I don't know.
Well, we're gonna, that room will be ready. Bam, you just go.
But you still got to stand in line and check in. Leave your credit card for incidentals.
Some of y'all will.
What do you mean?
Some of you will.
What do you mean?
You don't have to stand in line. Did we have to stand in line last year?
Do we?
We don't.
No, we don't.
We don't.
I mean, when they pick you up in the limo,
I
mean, they take you into an area and then you still give your credit card, but there's no line.
Right.
Not for us.
Not for us. No.
Not for Mr. Reineck.
No, of course not. That's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
I miss those days where you had to stand in line.
Well, we can make that happen.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I will.
You can do that.
I might do that.
You can do that. I'll tell you what.
When
we land in Las Vegas, you go catch an Uber because the limo guy is going to be standing there with my name on the placard, right? and I'll get in the limo and start drinking while you're standing in line for a cab. And then you go stand in line for the hotel. And by the time you get there and get all checked in, I'll see you at the blackjack table.
No,
I'll be at your favorite table playing free bet.
I'm used to, free bet. I'm used to the limo.
Oh, you're used to it?
I'll take the limo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Used to that. I've gotten used to that. So that's okay.
Now, if you guys want to join us in Vegas, you can. You want that VIP treatment, go to sasportstar.com. There's a link there that you can click on. Discounted rooms both at Circa and the D when we're out there August 22nd through the 25th for the Circa Sports Ultimate Contest weekend. It's going to be a great time out there. We want you to join the Blitz out in Las Vegas.
It's going to be a blast. It is going to be a blast. Last time was, this time will be even more fun. Because, look, we know, right? I mean, you go to a place once and you get the lay of the land. You know what's happening, where to go, it's going to be right to it.
Exactly.
Right to
and
it.
Joe says that, yet he hates free bet. Yet every time he was like, all right, man, I'll meet you down there playing blackjack. I always found him at the free bet table.
Because that was the only table open. So I either sit there and wait for some cheese ball to get up, or I can sit down and play the free bet. I just got to get used to it. I'll give it another shot.
See, and Joe says that. I mean, there were places open, but Joe doesn't like to sit at a table where there's other people that might screw up his hand.
Yeah, that's not true. I'm not one of those snobs.
You
like
really
that.
are.
I'm not.
You really are.
I was telling your daughter what to do one time. It's like I almost had a heart attack 2 or 3 times with her. But she listens. So
well, she does, and she's trying to learn.
Absolutely.
Yes.
But other than that, I mean, people can do what they want. It's their money.
Well, yeah, but you get very upset with people. You might not say something to them, although you have.
No, there was a dude last time where they said something to me, and I'd like telling him to go jump in a lake.
Yeah, but you did something stupid, and you deserve to be called out for it.
I didn't do something stupid.
Because I called you out, Chip called you out, but that guy, he called you out.
Nobody else called me out. There was a free bet, and the dude wanted me to split, what, 5s?
Oh, that was on the free bet. I thought you were talking about when we were playing like real blackjack.
I was, according to him, I was supposed to split these 5s instead of just doubling down on the 10.
Yeah.
Because it was a free bet.
Yes. He wasn't wrong.
Well, I think I won the hand.
Yeah, but
so,
but I don't know that he was wrong.
Well, you can go to the bathroom and
what? Let's do the headline blitz.
This is Jason and Joe's Headline
Bleep
Blitz.
himself.
Two guys, two opinions, never enough time.
Okay.
You know, if poor Bryson DeChambeau wasn't such a tool, I might start to like the guy.
Well, see, here's the thing. He's very likable. You just don't like him because he's a live type.
I know it. Yes.
And so everything
he's
he
kind
does,
of a tool.
Everything he does
anyway.
is wrong, according to you.
Well, he used to be a tool, and maybe he's trying to change himself.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I hear a lot of stories like when in hockey, players that win the Stanley Cup and all the different things that happen to that cup. DeChambeau thinks he's a hockey player because he went to one hell of a pool party on the 4th of July with the U.S. Open trophy. And basically what we're seeing online on Outkick right now, that was one hell of a party with that trophy.
Well, I don't blame him for having a party. I'd have done the same thing. You win the U.S. Open. But apparently they were drinking all kinds of stuff out of that trophy.
Well, sure.
Which is cool. I have no problem with that. That's what I'm saying. I don't want to like the guy, but he does stuff like that, and it's like, okay.
You can like the guy and not support his decision.
I can't like the guy.
I mean, you can.
I can't.
I mean, just because he doesn't agree with you doesn't mean he's a bad person. People can do different things, right? Isn't that where we're trying to get to in this world?
Well, sure, he can do whatever he wants.
Yeah, he's a live type, so you hate him.
And what I do like about DeChambeau, he's one of the few over there that play on the live tour that actually gives a damn about his golf game now.
Oh, okay.
Everybody else over there could care less.
Uh-huh.
It's true.
Okay.
He actually still tries. And he wears long pants.
Why does that bother you?
Because it's not professional. It's not. I don't want to see DeChambeau and Sergio Garcia and what other cheese ball out there, skinny legs.
Your 25-year TV career at Channel 5. And I'm going to speak for you, but I know you well. Some of your favorite days were when, I don't know, you were doing TV from Oxnard at Cowboys camp.
Yes.
Because you could wear shorts and like a Tommy Bahama Hawaiian shirt.
Yes.
Right?
Uh-huh.
When you were doing events where you didn't have to wear a suit and tie. Right?
Yes.
You know, Friday night football. You didn't wear a tie on those days.
No, but I still had to wear a suit. Well, sometimes. It depended.
But you loved, even though you're a professional TV guy, even though it's unprofessional, apparently, to be on TV without a tie, you love the days that you didn't have to.
I don't think it's unprofessional to do that.
Oh, it is.
Not for a sports guy, especially.
Well, especially a sports guy. I mean, because you're barely a part of this newscast anyway.
Well,
they leave you down there at the end.
Exactly.
But I mean, the idea, though, that you loved when you didn't have to wear a suit, even though it's professional. The definition of professional in the TV world is you got to wear a shirt and tie and a coat, right? So you love the days
That's
that
changing.
It is changing, and so are shorts on a golf course. Good Lord, be comfortable, be real, be relatable.
I have no problem with me wearing shorts on a golf course.
Of course.
'Cause I'm not a professional.
But you had no problem wearing shorts on television, even though it was an unprofessional look. I never saw Dan Cook out there wearing shorts.
Did you ever see Dan Cook out there?
I'm sure at one point.
I'm sure he did.
I mean, but at one point there, you know, I probably did see Dale Hansen in shorts.
Yeah, you did, and a loud shirt.
Yes. But what I'm saying though is you know, when you were in studio, you had to wear a tie because those are the rules.
Well, you didn't have to necessarily.
You had to.
No.
You had people telling you what to wear.
No, nobody told me what to wear.
Because
it was
you're the sports guy at the end. Nobody gives a damn.
It was and a lot of people gave a damn. That's the thing. A lot of people. You know how many people? We watch you every night, Joe.
I heard that the other day.
Yes, it's great. I'm sitting here wearing shorts right now.
I know.
And
you unprofessional SOB.
I feel professional as hell. But people don't have to look at my shorts and legs. And even on TV at Oxnard, I didn't have to do that because it's waist up. Used to be a time where guys would wear a tie and a coat and then shorts and tennis shoes.
You talking about Maury Vasquez?
Maury Vasquez was one of those guys.
Yeah, I think you were one of those guys too, weren't you?
You know what? It was too early for me. I was like trying to.
Oh yeah, be professional.
Be professional.
Yeah.
If I'd have taken Maury Vasquez's advice, love that guy.
You had done radio many years ago.
Many years ago. I did many years ago.
Yeah.
The good times.
Mm-hmm.
Good times.
Viktor Hovland thinking about aliens in the afterlife.
You know, you talk about a guy like Viktor Hovland. And of course, we're talking a lot about golf because
the Open.
The British Open starts tomorrow.
It's just the Open.
Yeah. You know, that actually starts like 3:00 in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't seen tee times yet, but
I'm sure they're out there.
Oh, they are. And I'll find out. But when I get up in the morning to have my morning cup of Joe, I'll be watching golf.
Good. And thinking about aliens?
I don't know that I'll be thinking about aliens. Now, Viktor Hovland's a hell of a golfer.
Yeah.
Right? But he is talking about conspiracy theories and some stuff. Apparently, he's preparing for the afterlife, young Viktor.
Yeah.
I'm not sure why. The guy's like 26.
Because you never know.
Well, that's true.
You got to be prepared.
Golfers are a little weird. Professional golfers. They really are. And which begs the question. I heard the fellas this morning on the morning huddle talking about this. Do you give a damn about it?
The Open?
Yeah.
No.
But you'll watch Tiger not make the cut.
Maybe. I enjoy the majors. And on Sunday afternoon, if there's something going on, I'll tune in just a regular whatever PGA Tour event. But the Open, as early as it is, nah. And I don't even know that I would even be aware enough in the morning to change my routine, which normally is, ESPN, you're watching Get Up, and to think, oh, let me go watch a little bit of golf. Let me go watch some of the Open.
Well, the Open might be on ESPN.
Well, it might be. So there would be no Get Up. So then I might see it.
There you go.
Now, this particular weekend, I'll be in New York. So priority, I mean, again, if it's on and I'm up, maybe.
See, on the plane ride home, you can watch.
It'll long be over by the time I leave. I don't leave New York till 6:00 on Sunday night.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So no, it'll be
over.
long
over.
It'll long be over.
It's got to be a deli or something you can go watch it at.
I don't know that I'm going to spend time in New York sitting in front of a TV watching golf.
See, and here it begs the question, and I really want to pose this question. Scotty Scheffler they just had odds for him to win. Obviously, he's the favorite to win. The headline was it's Tiger-like, the odds that he's getting. So why does Scotty Scheffler not get the attention that a Tiger Woods gets? And I'm asking the question.
Because Tiger was just so different. Scotty Scheffler's getting it up there. I mean, he ran over a cop, so that gave him some street cred. But he's not on all the different commercials like Tiger Woods. He didn't just onto the scene. He's having a great year, and I think, quite frankly, we're all waiting for him to pull a Jordan Spieth or a Rory or some of those other guys that we thought were the next. We bought in, and then they disappointed us. So I think there is a little bit of a hesitation to say, all right, Scotty Scheffler is going to be the next.
Well, and that could very well be. This year, he's been dominant.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been very Tiger Woods-like. I think, in fact, he's won, 7 golf tournaments this year alone? 6 or 7 this year alone, which tied a record by one Tiger Woods. Just saying. So I just wonder why he didn't get the same thing. So people are going to watch, and they'll watch Tiger and pray and hope that he makes the cut.
I think there's a little bit of that, but it's also watching the train wreck that is Tiger right now.
Well, why do you want to watch that? I don't want to see that. I want to see Tiger Woods be Tiger Woods. That's what I want to remember. Now, I loved his comment yesterday with Colin Montgomery, and it's like, screw you, I won, you didn't, and I can play as long as I want. I love that attitude.
Well, that's it. It's trash talking.
But again,
you
I don't want to
that,
see Tiger Woods shoot 80-something.
But you'll watch his featured group and watch him shoot 80 because you don't know if he's going to break out with a 68. Because it's Tiger. Probably going to be an 80.
I probably know he's not going to shoot 68.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying.
Mm-hmm. It is the Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. Did you watch the All-Star game last night? What about Hard Knocks? Let's talk about it coming up here on the Blitz. When you need an electrician, you know Hill Electric is available to you 24/7 for residential and commercial needs. I've used Hill Electric for a variety of projects at my house. They've added extra outlets in the garage, a spotlight over one of the grills outside, dimmer lights in the living room. They do fantastic work and have for over 3 decades. The family-owned Hill Electric has served San Antonio homes and businesses. And one of the great things about Hill Electric is they've got the right service at the right price. Never a service charge, always free estimates. So it costs you absolutely nothing to figure out what it will take to get a project done. Call Hill Electric, whether it's for your house or at the office, 210-404-9074, 404-9074, or hill-electric.com.
94.1 FM.
For more than half a century, contractors and trade professionals have relied on WeatherGuard for heavy-duty truck and van storage equipment, not just to protect their valuable tools, but to protect their professional reputations. For pros, the WeatherGuard badge makes a statement about what drives them. It says, "Bring it on. Been there. Done that. We've got your back," without saying a word. And the folks at WeatherGuard, they're just as driven as the hardworking pros they serve. See what it means to be driven at weatherguard.com.
O'Reilly. Save money today on your next full synthetic oil change at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Get a $10 gift card after rebate when you buy 5 quarts of Mobil 1 full synthetic motor oil for just $35.95. Our professional parts people can recommend the oil change supplies you need at your local O'Reilly Auto Parts store or at O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Hormones can affect everything. Bad skin, bad hair, low energy, poor sleep, brain fogginess, libido, and weight gain. I'm Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health, and we take a functional approach to your hormone problems. Eating right and exercise will not be beneficial without optimal hormone function. This goes for men and women. We do state-of-the-art testing to get to the root of your hormone issues and help you get well and stay well. I'm Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health. We can help. 210-468-1891.
It's Jason and Joe from the Blitz. Join us at Circa Las Vegas in August for the Circa Sports Ultimate Contest Weekend.
The Blitz will be live at Circa August 22nd and 23rd, and then we're staying for the weekend. Come to Vegas with us for the Ultimate Contest Weekend.
Circa Survivor and Circa Million are back. Enter in Nevada, play from anywhere.
So join the Blitz at Circa Las Vegas. More details and discounted rooms available online at sasportstar.com.
My friends swim no matter the season, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can sometimes take me out of the moment. Now, thanks to Skyrizi and clear skin, count me in. With Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. 3 out of 4 people achieve 90% clear skin at 4 months.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis, and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1, a San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. I watched more of the All-Star game last night than I thought I would. Actually, it wasn't a bad game.
No, it wasn't.
Fast-moving game.
Yeah.
That Shohei home run was incredible.
It was. I watched a little bit of it.
You watch until you saw Olivia Dunn and turn the channel.
Well,
don't lie.
I saw that.
Yeah.
And her beau, Paul Skeens. He pitched well, but he only pitched 1 inning.
As expected.
Yeah. So, no, it was, it was a good game. But okay, it happened. Big deal. American League wins again.
In an effort not to sound like Joe Reinagel, in an effort not to sound like the get off my lawn guy. What the hell were those uniforms? And can we go back to when players wore their actual uniforms to the All-Star game?
I like that too, because it was even hard to see the logo on the hat.
Yes.
The logos were on there, but it was hard to see.
Not that I would ever go buy one, but I didn't mind the hat as much, but I didn't like the jerseys. And I do miss the idea of seeing your traditional jersey at the All-Star game. I don't need them all looking the same in those. I mean, it's one thing for batting practice and for some of the other events, but when the game goes on, wear your regular uniform. Home and away, you could wear that. That is a tradition that they did not need to fix. There was nothing broken there. And I know I sound like the old guy, get off my lawn when I say that. I really do. But I mean, they didn't need to fix that. I can't imagine that they're selling a boatload of gear that look like that.
Well, I just think it was in honor, because this year has been in honor of the Negro Leagues.
Absolutely. But
so I think it was that.
But it's not I mean, they haven't done the traditional uniform for a while. They always have these special All-Star jerseys, and every year I kind of feel the same way. But last night's jerseys were ugly. Both teams. I mean, they were.
I agree.
And
it was awful.
It just made you miss seeing All-Star players in their traditional jerseys at the All-Star game. You know what I mean? We don't need special jerseys for that. Now, it's cool maybe for warm-ups and for some photo ops, but when the game starts, put on your uniform and go.
I would imagine the players probably felt the same way, but they have to wear what they have to wear, right?
Look good, play good. That did not apply last night.
It did not, although it was a pretty good game. National League got out in front.
Yeah.
American League rallies back.
Yeah. Typical of what happens when the National League shows up.
And now?
They leave you disappointed.
Sure. And now? Well, we move on.
There
were no consequences.
No. It's
nothing.
And it was Greeny saying that we need to bring that back? No, we don't need to bring the home team in the World Series back. I mean, it's an All-Star game. And last night it kind of it had that All-Star game feel to it. Great pitching, timely hitting. It was a good, fast-paced baseball game. That entire game was played faster than the home run derby.
Yeah,
think about that.
The
for
home
a minute.
run derby should go away.
Right.
It's kind of like the dunk contest in the NBA, and it just go away. Has anybody come up with a unique dunk in the dunk contest lately?
Sure. I remember Blake Griffin jumping over a car.
Well, that was what, 50 years ago?
Yes.
Yeah.
Not quite, but yes. It just, you just look at it and you sit there. What do they do? I forget who it was and where they actually do it, but a bunt contest to a target. I mean, that could be interesting.
A bunt
contest. Not that we've ever needed a bunt contest, but I saw somebody suggest that the other day on Twitter. And
wow,
that could be kind of goofy fun.
Yeah, that could be like watching grass grow.
Well,
that'd be awesome.
I mean, or can you swing, like in hockey, they have targets set up on the goals and players have to shoot and hit out the targets. Could you actually do that with a bat? Have some different targets in the infield. That might have a little bit of intrigue.
If they get the same pitchers, the old guys that pitch in the home run derby, yeah, I would think so. I really would. I would think so. Because those guys can kind of spray the ball wherever they want to, especially with a pitcher that's just throwing batting practice.
Yep.
So, but I was even disappointed in the whole Livy Dunn shot.
Because she dressed for the occasion?
She actually had clothes on.
You son of a... Did you watch Hard Knocks? Because I watched the All-Star game, and then when Max dropped the latest edition of Hard Knocks, the All-Star game went to the second TV with no sound, and I watched that. It is fascinating. Yet, I can't imagine another team is going to want to be featured on this version of Hard Knocks.
I wouldn't think so.
Because if you're a Giants fan, you have to feel like you've got a couple of idiots running your organization. And also, I realize, having been around front offices before, what they are showing us is such surface level, just a barely a peek behind the curtain, but it's enough of a peek that it's very interesting. But there are enough people out there that are probably watching it thinking that's how it's done.
Yeah.
And
it probably is.
To a degree, but it's got to be. I mean, like, good Lord. If this is it, Steven, get on the phone with Dak's agent, get on the phone with CD's agent, a 2-second conversation and the deal is done. I mean, that's kind of how they make it feel like. Or, if you're Saquon Barkley, you're probably mad and happy all at the same time. But if you're a Giants fan, you just have to be pissed off that is how your front office is getting business done.
Well, the owner was pissed off. From what I said, I didn't see it, all transparency, but I've heard a lot about it. A lot of people talking about it. And they did not want Barkley to go into Philadelphia.
No.
I mean, that was like, he could have gone to Chicago. He could have gone anywhere else, but not Dallas or Philly. And he ends up in Philly. And I have a feeling that that general manager could be riding out his last year, especially if they suck like everybody thinks they're going to.
He hasn't been there long enough, but I mean, clearly the coach does not like his quarterback, and they wanted Jaden Daniels.
They did.
And surprisingly, kind of get the sense that Mara hates the Eagles more than he hates the Cowboys, which is a bit of a surprise. Maybe it's just proximity, but at least last night you get that feeling, and you also would like to think that a general manager would have a nicer office than Reinagel and I have here at Alpha Media.
Yeah, you would think.
That's the GM's office? Really? Our GM has a nicer office than the Giants GM.
Well, the Giants are a clown show, and they have been. And,
it's supposed to be one of the...
It's supposed to be.
I mean, it's New York. It's one of those franchises.
I heard talk on, and I can't remember the show today, but about Bill Belichick. And how this year it's just kind of his off year, but he'll be back. And for whatever reason, the Giants are one of those teams that everybody thinks, or at least this show thought, that he would go to. And I can't imagine why he would do that.
Because it's a job.
Well, I guess, but I imagine he will have a couple of options.
It's a job. That's all it is.
And so instead of staying retired like he should, he'll go to a place like the Giants and further tarnish his legacy.
I mean,
it'd be like Gregg Popovich going to work for the Wizards.
I mean, if Gregg Popovich got fired and he still wanted to coach, then I could see him. If that was the job that was open, that's the job that was open. Yeah.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
I think Pop would ride off into the sunset. Which Bill Belichick ought to do with his little 20-year-old.
24.
Okay.
But you're right. And again, what he should do and what you think he should do and what he wants to do. I think Pop would not coach again.
Yeah, he would.
I
don't think he would.
But if Pop wanted to coach again, like Belichick wants to coach, if there's the job, that's the one you're going to take.
You don't just take any job. If you're Gregg Popovich or Bill Belichick, then you got to be a little picky.
You say that. There's only so many jobs that are open every year.
I get it.
And if that's the job that is open, then that's the one that you take. Now, I think the bigger question would be, what about the Jets job? Because of the New York coaches, I think Robert Saleh, if things don't go well, would be the more than likely replaceable guy in New York. Doesn't Belichick hate the Jets? Could you imagine him wearing Jets green? And what that would do to Patriot fans?
Hey, I'd love to see that.
I mean, that'd be like Pop coaching the Mavericks,
him and
or the Rockets.
Him and Aaron Rodgers together. That would be. I don't know
that Aaron would be there.
Aaron will be there.
I don't know that Aaron would be there.
He'll be there.
He's going to be quarterbacking Las Vegas with Devontae Adams.
No, I don't think so. I think that's Dak Prescott that will be doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Dak, you wouldn't even have to change his color scheme.
What?
Well, to some extent, I guess he would, huh?
Like completely.
Still gray pants.
It's seafoam blue in Dallas there, sir.
Gray helmet with
It's
a
silver.
Raider on there.
Silver helmet.
Yeah.
Silver.
Uh-huh.
Blue and black. It's all the same. Are you colorblind?
Boy, that would drive you insane.
Are you
the Raiders,
colorblind?
Dak Prescott and the Raiders.
Better than with the Giants or the Eagles.
Well, see, I don't think Dak would go to the Giants just because it's a job.
I think
they'll pay him $60 million.
I think you go wherever they're going to pay you $60 million a year.
Well,
if they're paying you $60 million, you're going.
So Dak would just ride off in the sunset with 0 rings.
Well, if he goes to the Giants, yes.
Absolutely. Probably the Raiders, too, for that matter.
Lord. It is the Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Stars. The Longhorns get ready for their first season in the SEC. Talking season continues. Sark, earlier today, spoke at SEC Media Days. We'll hear from the Longhorns head coach coming up on the Blitz. If you know me, you listen to this show enough, you know the Roo Pub is my go-to spot. No better place to go watch any game, any big fight, any big event, because they've got those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around there at the Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road. And when you go into the Roo Pub, you're going to be thirsty and you should go hungry because the food there is fantastic. They got a great kitchen. Their food, it's all great. The biggest and best wings in town. I love their fried shrimp, the chicken sandwich. They got about 15 different burgers on the menu. Great appetizers, the best onion rings in town. And Pledge tells me the salads there are wonderful. More importantly, that kitchen is open late till 2 a.m. every day with the full menu available. So when you want a late night meal, don't go to a drive-thru. Get into the Roo Pub there at 281 in Redland Road. Just down from the Big Blind, right next to the Angry Elephant. The Roo Pub, 281 in Redland. We'll see you at the Roo.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Thursday on the Morning Huddle, the Dallas Cowboys one day closer to camp. So many questions. We'll try to figure out the answers.
And previewing the final game of Spurs Summer League. Can they finish it 4-0? We'll discuss all that and more. Starts at 6 o'clock.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Mornings 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hi, I'm attorney Steve Benke. If you've made the decision to divorce, you need an experienced attorney who can help. I've helped many people get through divorce, custody, child support, and alimony problems. Call me. I'm attorney Steve Benke.
210-DIVORCE or go to BenkeLaw.com.
My friends swim no matter the season, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can sometimes take me out of the moment. Now, thanks to Skyrizi and clear skin, count me in. With Skyrizi Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. 3 out of 4 people achieve 90% clear skin at 4 months.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis, and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Okay, if you're sleeping on the hot summer styles and great prices at Kohl's, you're missing out. I just shopped there and scored stylish shirts for my husband, along with some cute crochet dresses for myself. Plus, I saved 30% with my Kohl's card. But even if you don't have one, you can still save an extra 20% on some other great finds and earn Kohl's cash. So what are you waiting for? Take your summer style from hot to sizzling and get to Kohl's. Select styles, 20% off GPO, valid through July 21st. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for up to half the cost. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Savings based on cost of Consumer Cellular single line 1, 5, and 10 gig data plans with unlimited talk and text compared to lowest cost single line postpaid unlimited talk, text, and data plans offered by T-Mobile and Verizon January 2024.
O'Reilly. Need a little help? O'Reilly Auto Parts can help. Need advice? We've got advice. No matter what you need, we have thousands of professional parts people doing their part to make sure you have it. Exceptional customer service. Just one part that makes O'Reilly stand apart. The professional parts people.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
If you're looking to move out of your parents' place, you could really cut expenses by bundling your car and renter's insurance with Progressive, which is good because your little brother has gotten really territorial. You're blood related. You'd think it would be fine to share food in the fridge. I mean, who writes their name on every individually wrapped slice of cheese, Tyler? Still, you've got to admire the commitment. So bundle your renter's and car insurance with Progressive and use the savings to help you move out and have all the cheese you want. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company coverage provided and serviced by affiliates and third-party insurers. Not available in all states.
This is Jim Rome. Join me weekdays at noon, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagle. I'm Jason Minnick. A knucklehead question. Do you guys randomly know your hat size? In the part where small, medium, medium, large, large, extra large. Do you just randomly know that?
No, I don't.
Because clearly we're doing something and there's going to be a fitted type hat involved. But I've seen where there are specific sizes, and I don't know that. And sometimes it just flat depends on have you had a haircut or not recently.
Well, that's true, but like the number.
Well, yeah.
See on the Cowboy, like 7 1/4.
Yeah, but this is small, medium, medium, large, large, extra large.
So there's 3 sizes there. Got you. So I would say I'm a medium large.
Pledge, you're more of a fitted hat guy.
Those are because they use like that elastic, so it stretches a little more. So medium large.
So you think medium large for Reinagle?
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this: what do you think you are?
Don't tell me large meat.
We're actual head, not the big-headed ego, right? But also, it might depend on the haircut. But like for you, what would yours be?
Medium large for me.
Yeah. You would be medium large. All right, I'll put medium large for you because I got a feeling Pledge will end up with this.
It will be
Maggie. What would Maggie have?
It would be medium large.
Maggie, medium large?
I have no idea what Maggie would be.
I mean, I'm just thinking all that hair.
Well, how do you know Maggie's? This might be a great looking hat.
Well, she took the last great looking hat we got.
Well, she did.
I mean, you had that hat for about 8 seconds before she claimed it.
Is this, I mean, I don't know what kind of hat this is.
I don't either, but generally it's pretty good. But I mean, I'm not used to seeing hat sizes presented that way.
I just bought a hat. Truth be told, it's a golf hat, kind of an Australian style.
Australian style?
Yes.
What does that mean?
Great looking hat.
What is an Australian style hat?
Remember
mean?
Crocodile Dundee?
Yes.
Well, it's not like that.
I was gonna say. You're not wearing that. I know you too well.
Well, no, I am gonna wear this because it's nice. Covers up the ears.
Uh-huh.
I worry about my ears now when I play golf because when you just wear a regular hat, I mean, the top of your ears are like exposed.
Well, when you put the suntan lotion on, you got to get your ears in the back of your neck.
I don't do that.
Well, that's your fault.
Well, I'm just saying. But if I get a hat like this, I won't have to worry about it.
Covers your ears,
so it's nice. So the
you
point
look
of it,
like you're like them Russian hats that cover your ears with the flaps that come down. You can play
point
golf
of this
in that.
Story is that I ordered an extra large, thinking I need an extra large.
Uh-huh.
It came in, it was too big.
Oh.
So I had to send that back and get a large. The large fits perfectly.
It fits perfectly.
Perfectly. Just got it yesterday, in fact.
Does it have a little propeller on the top of it?
No. I'll show it to you if you'd like. I can't because it's in a box outside. I got to take the other box out of the post office and return it to get my money back.
So wait, you ordered another hat.
I ordered another hat. That one came in because I needed the box. And I didn't save the box from the first one. So I'll get the money back on this hat that I send back, and then we're all square. It's all good.
So it's in the car right now.
Well, the extra large is.
Sure.
Because I thought it was just the regular UPS.
Yeah.
Right? Because it had a label, but it said...
Because there's a different UPS?
Well, yeah. Well, it's a USPS.
Oh, the post office.
That's the post office.
United States Postal Service.
Yeah, so I walk in. I said, is this y'all? No, that's the post office, sir. I'm like, I got to go to the post office. Dude, you just can't make things easy because there's a UPS store right by 5 minutes from my house.
Why not send it back through UPS?
Well, because I'm not paying for it. They're paying for it.
It'd be a couple dollars.
It'd be more than that.
Oh, how much? 10, 12? I mean, so you've already gone to one UPS store. Now you got to take the time to go to another one, stand in line, do all that stuff to send it back.
Stand in line. I'm not standing in line.
You kind of have to do that at the post office.
I'll take it.
I think you should.
There's a post office.
I think you should wait till, I don't know, around Christmas time to finally send that thing back.
Why?
So you can stand in a longer line.
No, I have to send it back before like August the 3rd.
Oh, so
they told me that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I want to get it over with, send it back. And
how long has this been sitting in your car?
Just today, because I took it today before work.
Oh, okay.
And they wouldn't take it, and then I didn't have time to go to the post office.
You drove right by a post office on your way to work.
I did? Where?
Did you come Wurzbach Parkway?
Yeah, I did.
All right, you know, as you're coming down Wurzbach Parkway to your left.
Oh, there is on Perrin Vital, right?
It's the main post office.
Is that on Perrin Vital?
Yes, right there on Perrin, right by the Dairy Queen.
I didn't know that. Yeah,
what do you mean you didn't know that was a post office?
Who looks?
Who looks?
Yes.
I don't know. Big sign. Post office.
I'm never looking for a post office. It's like the last. I know there's a post office close to the house on Huebner and somewhere. I think it's
Huebner just down from Tri-County.
Exactly.
Yes.
So that's the one I was thinking about. So I'll go there tomorrow.
But you drive by one every day, twice a day. Going to work, going home from work.
I don't like that one. I want to go to the one on Huebner.
How do you know you don't like that one?
I don't like it. I'm going to the other one.
I mean, you got enough people that are working at that one because it's a big post office.
Get off my lawn. Other people work at this one. You saying there's nobody that works there?
I'm just saying it sounds to me like you might need to talk to somebody. And if you go into that one on Huebner, a lot of times it's the self-serve thing, and you got to figure out the computer.
I don't have. It's already got a label on it and everything. I just got to hand it off here.
Okay.
That's all I have to do.
So you don't even have to hand it off. You put it in the little contraption thing.
No, it won't fit in there. It's a big box. It's a hat.
It'll fit.
Come on, man.
It won't. It's not the little slit thing for like envelopes. They got a big package container.
They do.
And you just open it up and close it.
Yeah, I never go to the post office.
Well, you should.
Why?
Because it's fun.
It's fun.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. The post office is fun.
You've never been inside of a post office?
I've been inside of a post office. I'm just saying that I don't go there often. I mean, I got a guy, I don't know where you live, but he actually delivers mail to the house.
Yes. I got a guy that, mine doesn't come to the house. He goes to the cluster box thing that's down the street.
Same thing.
Oh, so again.
But it's right there.
You know, if you've got a box that has a label on it, you can actually, in the bottom of your cluster box, those bigger compartments with the special key.
It won't fit.
It won't even fit in that?
It won't fit in there.
How big is this hat?
Dude, I'll show you.
I mean,
it's big enough to cover my ears. Yeah. It's big enough. It's going to be a swanky hat. The next time we go out and play golf, I'll wear it and you'll see. Everybody will be jealous. Damn, I wish we had Ryan Eagle's hat.
Well, I think you owe it to the people now. In the next commercial break,
I'm not, because it's sealed up. I'm not unsealing.
You know what's great is you can unseal the box, and we've got tape here at the work.
Are you going to seal it back?
It's tape. Yes.
Wow.
It won't be that.
You heard
complicated.
that, right? You heard that, Pledge.
I mean, you get some scissors. You unseal it, and then you tape it back up.
Now, Daniel Rodriguez says I can just drop it off at the house, and the guy, I just put it right there. They told me, because I had to print out the label, that I need. They didn't say anything about coming to the door.
You realize, like I was trying to tell you in your cluster box thing. It's called outgoing mail.
I realize. I know where that is.
Yes,
but the box.
In your whole set of cluster boxes.
I'll go get the box.
In your whole set of cluster boxes,
they're all the same size.
And this box won't fit.
It might.
Well, now it might.
Well, I'll let the people decide. How about that? I'll go get it. Damn good looking hat too. You know what? I should wear it on the show.
Let me ask you this.
I'll do that tomorrow, Pledge.
Yes, please do.
I'll do that. I'll just wear the hat all day.
Yeah, you can. How did the box end up at your house?
They're right on the doorstep.
Okay.
Right there by the door.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they'll pick it up there.
I'm assuming that they will. I'll figure that out, or I can just drop it off.
You could just drop it.
It's not a problem.
I mean, you know what you really could do on your way home tonight is you're driving up Pyramidal to get to Wurzbach Parkway. Because at least you're going in the direction where you just turn right into the post office. You just go right in, drop the box in the thingamajigger, and get in your car, and you're done.
Or I got a better idea. I could go to the one on Hebner and then trot down to Tri-County before that special ends, pick up some meat, take it back home, and then come to work. Sounds like a hell of a lot better idea to me.
I mean, you could do that tonight and get to Tri-County and get the Akaushi steak special they've got going on.
Before.
And then go have a steak for dinner tonight.
I could do that too. That's a hell of an idea.
You could do that.
That's a pretty good idea too.
But I think we all know you well enough that if you've got that Akaushi steak on your mind, you're going to forget to go to the post office. You'll get in there. You start talking to Brian and Joe and the guys there at Tri-County, especially if Bobby's there. And, you know, all of a sudden you're going to be enthralled in whatever conversation it is. Generally, it's about, I don't know, gambling. And
it's always about gambling.
And then you're going to get in your car and you're going to go home and that box is still going to be in your car.
You know, but I'll still have a good steak, so it won't matter.
But the box is still going to be there.
And that's fine.
Well, but you've got a deadline here.
I've got till August 3rd.
You really don't have till August 3rd.
I do.
You do not have until August 3rd.
That's what they told me.
July
August
28th. Yes. Pledge is onto it. Pledge just figured this out.
Because we'll be in Vegas.
No.
Where are we going? Oxnard. Where the hell are we going? Oh, that's coming up, isn't it? See, I'm sitting here thinking August is like a long way away.
Yeah, next week, man.
Dude, it's like 2 weeks away.
Not even.
Damn.
Not even. I mean, we leave July 28th to go out to California.
Holy cow.
So you really have until the 27th to get this done because we leave early on the 28th. So you've got till the 27th.
I'll take care of it.
You've just lost an entire week that you thought you could put this off.
Don't tell me about putting things off and waiting, all right? Because that's what I've been talking about with the Spurs. You don't wait. All right, I'm just letting things work themselves out. It'll be better if I take it at the deadline than to take it early.
Really?
Sure.
I don't think so.
Well, I'm just saying.
I mean, this is a bad analogy because
it's not a bad analogy.
You know, you never know with them. They tell you have until August 3rd. Is that August 3rd for it to go in the mail or for it to end up in their warehouse and them to mark it? Yep, he has returned it by this day, and here's your money back, sir.
Postmarked by August 3rd.
See, you say that, but then
I got the little card at home. I'll look at it. In fact, I've got it right here.
I know you didn't read the instructions on this thing. It might need to be processed by the 3rd, which means you got to give it 3 days in their facility to make sure they get it done.
How about that? Then they make me work to print out the label.
Oh, you had to work to print out the label.
Yes.
Did you got little sticky paper for that too, or did you have to tape it on?
Had to tape it on.
Oh man,
I didn't do it, Maggie.
Yeah, I know she did. I'm surprised you didn't just leave it on the counter hoping she'll take it to the post office for you, because apparently this is a challenge that's above your pay grade.
You know, she might have done that. I'm going to bring it in and say, honey, I forgot. Just leave it there.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I don't know that I would say that. I think I'd just leave it on the counter for a couple days and then she'll take care of it. But if you come in and say you forgot, you're going to get in trouble.
Not really.
You will get in trouble.
Because I got till August 3rd.
Well, so you say that.
She knows that.
So what really is going to happen here is it will stay in the back of Joe's car. And then we're going to be out in California and he's just randomly going to think about it, call his wife and say, you know what, dear? I forgot to send that hat. How much was this hat?
I'm not going to say.
$40, $50,
roughly, yeah.
$3,000. I mean, how much was this hat?
You know, it's furry. It's not. About $40, I would say, roughly, give or take.
Maggie, I forgot that hat.
Yeah.
Can you do me a favor? Because I'm out here in California working hard at Cowboys camp.
And I will be.
And I went to the post office and I don't know, they wouldn't take it because I went to the wrong place. I went to the UPS store.
Oh, she knows that. I told her.
I don't know the difference between UPS and USPS because apparently those are different. Have you been to the FedEx store? Have you gone to a DHL spot?
No.
All right. I mean, don't go there either. They're not going to take it.
Well, I look, I think that, UPS and USPS, maybe they ought to think about changing their name. What UPS, do they just flat out steal the post office's name? Yeah, we'll just leave out an S.
You realize USPS is the post office.
Right.
That's their name.
UPS stole the name from them.
United Parcel Service.
They stole the name from them.
Well, I mean, it's close to. It's McDonald's and McDowell's.
Right?
Yes.
Exactly.
Except for they're in a brown truck. Post office is red, white, and blue. United States.
I'm just going to leave it on the doorstep.
Well, you better tell them to come get it. Do you know how to do that? What do you think? You think the post office guy goes by, he sees a package, and he thinks that's for him?
Sure.
No, because otherwise he'd be the greatest porch pirate ever.
He doesn't look at my house anyway. He just goes to the cluster. I got to leave it on the cluster. Or maybe when he's down there, if I see him, I'll just walk it out to him.
When was the last time you saw the guy down there?
He's down there pretty regular, about 10 o'clock in the morning.
Okay, yeah, because he's got a route.
Yeah. So he's pretty
so
regular.
If you know his route, see, like my guy shows up like at 12:30.
Yeah.
So
you're gone already.
I'm already gone.
My guy's about, I want to say he's about 10 o'clock usually.
Yes, he's got his route. So you can just walk it down there and say, hey, dude, this outgoing. All right, cool.
Yeah.
That's all you got to do.
Well, that's what I'm going to do.
Problem solved.
Yeah.
Or drop it off on your way home tonight.
Well, I appreciate you guys listening and working out my issues.
Miss Becky says Joe loves fur and fuzzy things.
I do, Miss Becky. Yes, I do.
Unfortunately,
I can't lie to you.
He doesn't mind furry handcuffs. Other kind of handcuffs are a problem. If you get yourself arrested and you want to get out of jail fast, best way to do that when you get those real handcuffs, get out of jail fast, call my good friend Albert and his great staff at AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747, or you can start the bonding process online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else to get out of jail, and you don't want to be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you a PR bond, make sure you truly understand what all those conditions are before accepting it. Your best option for stress-free bail bonds is AA Best Bail Bonds, because nobody beats their price. They have payment plans available, a free shuttle service. They are discreet and confidential and open 24/7. Offices all over San Antonio and Texas, services nationwide. If you're up in Dallas, down in Corpus, anywhere in between, license number 149, call AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121, or go online at mybestbailbonds.com.
Riding 410 with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6, KTFM Floresville, and everywhere at sasportstar.com.
Byers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Byers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at byersbarricades.com. That's byersbarricades.com. Testosterone levels in men can start to decrease as early as 30 years old, and long-term health risks can be extremely damaging to your body. Rock's Discount Vitamins carries a variety of natural testosterone boosters that can immediately provide you with more energy, increased libido, increased metabolism, and improve your mood. Rock's Discount Vitamins natural testosterone boosters can even help you build muscle and lose weight faster. With 11 San Antonio locations, visit rocksdiscountvitamins.com. Thanking God and South Texas for all the support.
Philo's got a world of entertainment for you to explore with just one subscription. Sign up today and start watching all the networks you love, like A&E, MTV, Discovery, VH1, TLC, Lifetime, Hallmark Channel, and so much more. Featuring current seasons of all the best drama, true crime, reality, and family-friendly shows you can't afford to miss. And with up to 3 streams at once, you'll never have to fight about what to watch. Get started today and unlock our library of over 75,000 movies and shows, and save all your favorites with the unlimited DVR, so you can rewatch them anytime, anywhere, for up to a year. Philo now includes access to AMC Plus. You can discover your next obsession from its collection of hit originals like Mad Men, The Walking Dead, Killing Eve, Orphan Black, and tons of blockbuster movies. There are no contracts, no commitments, and no hassles. For just $28 a month, Philo's a better way to watch TV. So what are you waiting for? Visit philo.tv and sign up today to start your 7-day free trial. That's philo.tv.
Hey, it's Jason Minix, fellas. Do you take better care of your yard than your health? Well, as we age, we can lose our energy, motivation, and gain weight, all potential symptoms of low T. At Synergenics Testosterone and Weight Loss, their healthcare experts specialize in testosterone treatment, and they make it quick and easy. You'll get your results back at your first visit. You can also be evaluated for treatment with prescription weight loss medication. Book your appointment now. Go to fixmylowt.com. That's fixmylowt.com.
With a true Vegas feel, the Big Blind is the premier poker room in San Antonio, featuring an upscale environment catering to players from all abilities. From high-octane tournaments or lively cash games, the Big Blind has a game for everyone, including blackjack tournaments. From the owners of the Roo Pub and the Angry Elephant, the Big Blind is locally owned and operated, offering daily cash games to daily, weekly, and monthly tournaments. Learn more online at thebigblindsa.com. The Big Blind at 281 and Redland Road.
The Morning Huddle.
This Ingrid Andress, I don't know much about her.
How do you come back from this?
You don't. You're now the anthem girl. I asked my wife, I was like, who is that? And she's like, I don't know, the Hawk Tua girl? I was like, maybe that's who it is.
This is better than anything that does happen. I think this could possibly be her doing the
Oh, how great would that have been?
Run Derby. We'd like to introduce the Hawk Tua girl to sing our national anthem.
Girl, you just spit on that thing, didn't you?
The Morning Huddle with AJ and Rob. Weekday mornings 6 to 10. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. San Antonio Sports Star. San Antonio's Sports Center.
Well, the San Antonio Brahmas have acquired the rights to 10 players. They did that in today's 2024 United Football League college draft, including UTSA wide receiver Joshua Cephas. The Atlanta Hawks have signed a two-way contract with UTSA men's basketball star Keaton Wallace. Congrats to both of those guys. And the Houston Texans, well, they've reported to camp today, first NFL team to report.
Guess what day it is?
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 62, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Mike. What day is it, Mike? Hump day!
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 Yeah. Here we go! Happy Hump Day, everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Happy y'all are along on this Hump Day.
He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Wednesday here.
Hump Day.
You know, your Sports Center just now.
Yeah.
What great UTSA news.
That's awesome, isn't it?
Keaton Wallace.
Yep.
Two-way deal with Atlanta.
Yeah.
The UFL having a bit of their draft today. I haven't seen if other UTSA players were picked up by UFL teams, but the fact that a Roadrunner was picked up by the Brahmas and Cephas, that's solid.
I think it's great. It's fantastic, and I'm happy for those guys. Keaton Wallace, man, remember him? He was damn good.
Watching him the other day in Summer League.
Yeah, so good for him to sign a two-way contract with the Atlanta Hawks. And I guess Spurs fans are hoping he doesn't play very well when he plays for Atlanta.
He's a two-way contract.
I get it.
I mean,
yeah, but he may see some time.
Well, if he's
with the big Hawks,
I mean, if he's seeing a lot of time, and I know I don't want this to sound disrespectful, but would that go in line with Atlanta taking? And there's zero reason for them to tank since the Spurs own their pick.
Zero reason.
Zero reason.
If I were the Hawks, I think I'd do everything in my power to try and make the playoffs.
Well, sure.
I would. I mean, why do the Spurs any favors?
Yeah.
I would.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
Of course, they tried last year and sucked.
Yeah, but I think there was a clash there between Murray and Young.
It's obvious.
I think so.
It's obvious.
I don't think they're going to be as bad as people think.
You're starting to sound like James Pledger.
Well, I'm just saying, I don't think that. Look, they've got the same win-loss Vegas total as the Spurs, 34.5.
Mm-hmm.
So if they do that, if both teams, then both going to be in the lottery anyway. You hope Atlanta their balls bounce better than the Spurs balls.
Well, I mean, yes. That is true. I saw something come in the email today about win totals for the NBA. This from Bet Online. See where they've got San Antonio, who's been consistently. See, they've got San Antonio at 35.5. Last year they opened at 28.5 and finished with 22 wins.
Right.
So I've seen 34.5. I'm seeing 35.5. And I think a lot of people are thinking they could be over that.
Well, a lot of people thought that last year too.
Yes. They also have Atlanta at 35.5.
Would you bet them over this year?
Maybe. I think they'll be closer to 500.
Well, if they do that, there's a good shot they could. I don't know what the play-in records were.
See, here's the thing. Well, I mean, Atlanta was 36-46 last year, and they were a play-in team in the East. They were the 10th seed.
East.
They were the 10th seed. All right, that's the East. It's interesting because I do think if, let's say, that number was 39.5, I probably wouldn't go near it. 30.
Well, you bet it under, or you wouldn't bet it.
I wouldn't bet it. That would be too close to where, like, 35.5 just feels like a gimme. You're trying to take my money, and yes, here it is. If the Spurs are playing and start the year and play the entire year like they closed last year, with the addition of Chris Paul, with the addition of Harrison Barnes, then I do think 40 wins is attainable. So 35.5, yes. If that's the number when we're in Vegas at Sark at the end of August, I'd put money on the Spurs to go over. If that number jumps up for whatever reason to 39, 40, 41, 40, I just wouldn't touch it. That would be that I wouldn't go near it.
Just to give you what it was last year, Golden State was the last team in the play-in tournament. They won 46 games. Okay, so that's the play, and that's what we're looking at in the West.
Was how many?
46.
Got in the play-in.
Got in the play-in. That's the 10th seed, by the way.
Yep.
Sacramento, though, had the same record. They were the 9th seed. So Lakers were in, and also New Orleans with 49 wins. So that's what you're looking at. So you need about 45, 46 wins to just get into the play-in. Yeah. Look, it all depends a lot on what Chris Paul does, how many minutes he plays, how many games he plays. That's gonna be a big factor in what they do this year.
And it's interesting because right now both Chicago and Utah are off the board. Utah probably, Vegas doesn't want to take any action on them until they figure out what they're going to do at Lauri Markkanen. Brooklyn is at 19.5, Washington at 22.5, Portland at 22.5. And there are still some rumblings out there. While it looks like the Spurs roster is set with the two signings they did yesterday with Mamu and Charles Bassey, they've got their 15. We're still waiting to see what happens with Chris Paul. In fact, Jeff Garcia at Locked On Spurs has an article today about a new Chris Paul mural. And even the mural artist made a jerseyless number or a numberless jersey on the mural.
Yeah.
Now, once Keldon gets traded, they could go put a number 3 on there. One of the potential trade partners, I guess, could be Portland, because you got the Simons guy that would be a nice guard that could come in, young, good 3-point shooter, who right now is taking away touches from Scoot. So Portland needs a wing. Keldon could fill that role. We need another guard that we could build around, Joe.
Yes.
If that's a guy that's there. Right?
Yes.
So
all for it.
It could something like that be in the works. So I say right now, today, it kind of feels like, all right, the Spurs roster is set at 15.
It's not
but
set.
That doesn't mean that they're done making moves that could make this team even better. So 35.5, if you can get that number, probably not a bad play on the over, especially if they go out and they make another trade for either a Lauri Markkanen or not quite as impactful. But, if you get rid of Keldon and add in another guard, it's possible.
It is possible. I don't think a Markkanen deal would happen until February. So I'm not sure. I mean, obviously that helps you after the All-Star break. But I'm all for getting the young kid out of Portland. I mean, I think that'd be great because I think, and with all due respect to Keldon Johnson, I just don't see him as a part of the future of this franchise. I just don't, and I think the Spurs are going to dangle him any chance they get to get somebody else. And so, if you can make that deal happen, Portland wants to tank. They do.
Yep.
They want to tank. Chicago wants to tank. Brooklyn is already indicating they're tanking. So there's going to be a lot of tanking going on in the NBA this season by a lot of teams, and they're going to look really bad.
And as we talk about the idea of a trade with Portland, and mind you, this was a kind of out there idea even before the draft and everything. So it was a rumor that didn't go very well. I know a buddy of mine that does radio in Portland texted me about it months ago, and we'll see what happens. But on the Low Post Pod the other day, Kevin Pelton was talking about this move actually maybe happening.
San Antonio is the other
Yes.
clear team to me.
Yes.
Keldon Johnson for Simons actually is like the base of a trade. Obviously, some more stuff going from San Antonio to Portland's direction. Like that kind of makes sense for both teams. Johnson, gives them another wing with some size who can play off the ball in Portland. And Simons, if you don't view Stephon Castle as the point guard of the future in San Antonio and you view him playing next to a guy like Simons, makes a lot of sense there.
Or even if you do view him as the point guard of the future, he's got size. The Spurs, I love the idea of Simons. I keep wanting the Spurs to take a shot on one of these just elite shooting, defensively challenged guards because of Wemby. I love the idea of Reed Shepherd for them, although Castle looks like he's going to be great.
Yeah, look, and that would give you the option. If Castle doesn't, for whatever reason, work out as a point guard, it'd be a hell of a two guard.
Yep.
So, I mean, you've got an option there, and you can fit him in wherever he fits better. I'm all for a deal like that because, again, with all due respect, and I like Keldon Johnson, but I just don't see him as a part of the future of the Spurs franchise. I think he's going to be dealt at some point in time, probably sooner rather than later. And if you have an opportunity to go out and get a young kid like this, I'd say do it. I'm all for it.
And you look at him last year in Portland on not a very good team, and I know there's a lot about Scoot. 5.5 assists, which was a career high for him, 38.5% from three, and he scored 22.6 a game.
Yeah. And he's a young player.
24?
Yeah. And so he would be able to grow with this team. And it's exactly what I've been talking about. This rumor, it's just a rumor.
That's it.
Well, I'm just saying what Portland, the rumor is here is Keldon Johnson, Champagnie, the 2025 first-round pick. Now, that's with Atlanta. Now, that's what this rumor is. So I know that's going to rub a lot of people wrong.
And again, I don't know that you give all that up for him. And I don't know that it would be that expensive.
Well, it may not be that expensive.
That
but
might be what Portland wants, but what is Portland going to take?
And
Portland is all about Scoot, so you don't want somebody taking touches away from Scoot, right?
No, but I mean, and maybe the Spurs do get a better deal. But look, if you're going to tell me right now I can get an Anthony Simons right now, a guy that is a young player that's played, that's got some experience versus a guy that I can draft and may or may not be as good as he is, I would do that deal right now. I would do it. Why hang on to a pick? Number one, you don't know whether it's going to be a top 10 pick or not.
You don't.
And so I'm just saying a bird in the hand sometimes a lot better than one in the bush.
But can you, again, if you know that pick is going to be required for Lauri Markkanen, you can't spend it here. And when you look at Portland and what they're trying to do, will they take other picks? And the answer is probably yes. That seems like a deal that once they decide they want to get it done, they could probably get it done. Although I think all of it is going to wait and happen after August 6th or on August 6th when we find out if Lauri Markkanen signs an extension that day with the Utah Jazz. There is going to be this lull in activity. And as training camps begin in the NFL, nobody's going to really give a damn about what's going on in the NBA until August 6th. And once Markkanen either signs the extension or doesn't, no matter what happens, August 6th, I think there's a lot of dominoes that are waiting to fall once that extension is signed or not signed. Because if it's signed, he can't get traded till the deadline, then other business can go on. If he doesn't, then what does Utah ultimately decide to do? Are they going to keep him, try to deal him? What's going on there? So I think August 6th kind of becomes the next big day, unless a team like the Spurs can make a trade for Anthony Simons with Portland without affecting the picks that are going to be necessary and or players to do whatever they need to do with Markkanen.
Look, I think if the Spurs pull make a deal with Portland, I think Markkanen's out. I think it's one or the other at this point in time. I don't see it being both. I mean, you're talking about, having a hell of a feast there. I look at this, and if those pieces, you're not going to get Simons, I mean, for a steal. He's not a guy you're going to be able to just steal. Although Portland needs to shed a guard, and he appears to be the odd man out in that respect. But I just don't see the Spurs being able to do both, because then you're talking about, you bring in a guy like this, and what are you talking about? Getting rid of who else in that lineup that say a Portland or a Utah may want, and then you're talking about a Devin Vassell. And then you got some difficult decisions to make.
Well, see, if I can send Keldon to Portland and Devin to Utah and get those two players back and unload all those picks out of the pantry, I'd be a pretty happy Spurs fan.
Really?
I'd be a happy Spurs fan.
Well, I'm not sure that Simons is a better player than Devin Vassell.
Again, I'm upgrading with Simons from Keldon and then Markkanen for Vassell if I've got to do that.
Boy, that'd be great.
Don't get too attached to these guys, Ryan Engel. The only one that you get attached to is Wemby.
I'm not attached to anybody, but I think Devin Vassell is going to be a hell of a player. And if Devin Vassell becomes your third best player, you got a hell of a team.
Mm-hmm.
So I
would rather have Lauri Markkanen my second best player, and I think Castle is going to be right up there. I just look at this. In order to build and grow, I might have to say goodbye to somebody that I like.
You may have to.
And I'm willing to do that.
Well, don't get attached to Castle. What if 2 years from now he's involved in a trade?
I literally just said the only one you should get attached to is Wemby.
Just saying.
The rest of them are farm animals. Don't name them because it might be dinner.
Wow.
Yes.
So don't go out and buy a Castle jersey?
No.
Is that what you're saying?
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Wow. Okay.
You want a new Spurs jersey, either get Wemby or Manu, maybe a Duncan. Always buy Legends jerseys.
Okay.
For you guys out there that have a whole bunch of Keldon jerseys, yikes.
Dude, we're already building murals to Chris Paul, who's going to be here for 9 months.
It's spray paint. You know what happens with spray paint? Yeah, the mural will become something else later. And whoever did that mural, congratulations. They didn't put a jersey number on that,
well,
which
how
is
could
fantastic.
they?
Well, again, you want to assume that, Keldon's just going to give it up.
He should have painted the number 3. Paint it.
And just disrespect Keldon that way?
Take the shot. Yes.
Why do you hate Keldon Johnson?
I love Keldon Johnson. Love him.
But
I just don't see him as a part of the future of this team. I really don't.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think the Spurs see him as that either. Just spitballing. That's how I feel.
That's how you feel.
That's exactly right.
Let's talk some Texans football as they start training camp. We'll do that coming up here on the Blitz on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star.
Well, I tell you what, sometimes you get stuff and it doesn't seem that exciting at the moment, but then you start using it, and it is one of the best things that I've got in my house. That, of course, is my Connecticut quality water softener. I've had it now for about 3 weeks or so, and man, I'm just loving life. It is amazing the difference that a Connecticut quality water softener can make, not only to your shower, to your dishes, to your laundry, and everything you use water for. It makes a hell of a difference. It is incredible. Look, living here in San Antonio and South Texas, the water is hard. A water softener is just about a necessity, and you might as well get the best, and that is Connecticut. The best thing I like about it is the fact you don't have to plug it in. You don't plug it in. It doesn't run on electricity, and it works only when you need water, but it does work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. That is the beauty of it. And right now, the good folks at Connecticut are doing this. It's a crazy deal. They are going to put a water softener in your home for 90 days, absolutely free and with no contract. You heard me right. 90 days, free, no contract. All you have to do is give them a call and start the process. 656-PURE, 656-7873, or you can get them online at ConnecticutSA.com. Come on, you know the jingle. Sing it with me. It's the last water softener you'll ever own. Call 656-PURE, Connecticut.
San Antonio's Sports Star.
Maybe it's time to ask your checking account. What have you done for me lately? My Advantage Checking from Generations Federal Credit Union does more. My Advantage Checking pays you 2 days early, plus shopping rewards, identity protection, and much more. My Advantage Checking treats you right. So make the switch. Learn more at Generations Federal Credit Union. Member owned, community grown. Member eligibility requirements apply. For complete terms and conditions, visit mygenfcu.org. Federally insured by NCUA.
This radio commercial was made to convince you to stop speeding. We can't use siren sound effects on the radio, so we'll use other equally jarring sound effects to get your attention. Like telling you that whether you drive a little over the speed limit or a lot, you can crash just the same. You could hurt yourself or worse, others.
I'm at the scene of the collision.
And the damage you cause will be beyond repair. See, we didn't have to use crash or siren sounds after all. Speeding catches up with you.
Paid for by NHTSA. It's time to roll out the red carpet for, well, new carpet. There's no better time than right now at the Home Depot, where the more you buy, the more you save. Save up to 10% on select special order carpet styles you love from brands you trust. And installation is included on qualifying purchases. Start your carpet project today at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Offer valid July 11th through July 28th, 2024. Receive up to 10% off select special order carpet purchases. Minimum purchase required. Exclusions apply. For licenses, see homedepot.com/license members.
The light is fading, your hands are sore, and the last tool has been put away. Now is the time to feel the satisfaction that comes with a job well done. But when you get your tools from Harbor Freight, something about the job feels a little different. Your wallet. Because we believe that everyone deserves hardworking tools at hardworking prices. And that's what we have here. So, whatever you do, do it for less at Harbor Freight.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is The Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. You've done some grilling over the last couple of days. Make sure you upload those photos to sasportstar.com, the Grilling with the Blitz page. Because every Thursday, we judge meat and give away a $50 gift card to Tri-County Meat Market. The only way you can win is if you upload those photos. So get that done. sasportstar.com.
We'll be judging meat tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
That will be happening. Looking forward to that. A lot of good meat to judge.
Coming up 4th of July?
That's right.
Absolutely.
But we got room for more.
Always.
So post them. Upload them.
Always.
Do it.
Always good stuff there. The Houston Texans, are they a sexy Super Bowl pick?
They are. Yeah. Their only issue is that they're in the AFC.
Yeah.
Which is a hell of a lot tougher than the NFC.
The quarterbacks.
Yeah.
That they will inevitably have to face in the playoffs. But when you think about Houston, and it is interesting because I see a lot of people, the national talking heads, talking about them being really good this year in a playoff team, but not really a Super Bowl team. And I think a part of that is you've got Patrick Mahomes. A part of that is you've got Lamar Jackson. You've got, if Joe Burrow can stay healthy, you're going to deal with Cincinnati. But I found it interesting that they would be that sexy, like, especially if you're going to Vegas, like when we go out to Circuit Las Vegas in August. The money right now You can put $20, $100 on them, and if they win the Super Bowl, that's going to be a nice ticket to go back and cash.
Absolutely.
But are they a realistic Super Bowl team? And everybody will say once you get into the tournament, all bets are off. Bill Barnwell at ESPN.com has an interesting article. Trendy Super Bowl picks. Packers, Lions, Texans up next in 2024. And how do you define what is a sexy Super Bowl pick, right? And he tries to define it. And there's all kinds of things in there. Team hasn't made a long playoff run in forever, this, that, and the other. And quarterback play exceeded their expectations the year before. And are they going to build on it, winning by a considerable margin in those games? All the different things there. So he went through and it's like, how often does the sexy Super Bowl pick actually go on and win the Super Bowl? Jacksonville was in that category a year
last
ago.
year, yeah.
And a lot of us forget that. But a lot of people were talking up Jacksonville like mad a year ago. According to Barnwell in his definition, 2-20. 2 out of the last 20 have actually
It's almost like the kiss
Super
of
Bowl.
death, isn't it? If somebody's picking you at the beginning of the season, it's like being on the cover of Sports Illustrated or Madden or something. I mean, it's just it's not good. And right now, he's got the Texans as one of the top 3 sexy picks.
The trendy Super Bowl picks, which if Greeny were doing this show right now, he would call it the kiss of death.
Kiss of
death.
death.
The Texans are the first team to report to camp fully. And it's understandable why.
Sure.
Because CJ Stroud played so well last year. And that thing that he's doing with Micah Parsons on Bleacher Report, and what I find interesting is with Micah, people are getting mad at Micah for doing the podcast, but falling in love with CJ just because he seems like such a good dude.
He does.
And quite frankly, an extremely smart football player, and football IQ was one of the knocks on him going into the draft last year.
Which is really dumb, isn't it?
Well, fast forward a year and you look back and you go, yeah, what were we? Yeah, I mean, and I say, what were we thinking? I say that because all the reports were, which led to a general opinion about CJ Stroud.
I think, look, CJ is a good quarterback, but had he been picked number 1 and ended up in Carolina, what would we be thinking about CJ Stroud right now?
Same thing we do with Young.
Right.
I mean,
a
maybe
lot
he's
of
a
times
little
it's
bit better.
luck. A lot of times it's luck of the draw as to where you land. He landed with a franchise that is aggressive, that hired the best coach out there, and he fit right in. So
it's in a lot of ways, it's Brock Purdy in San Francisco.
Sure.
It's Goff being with a guy like Dan Campbell. I mean, the situation has to work. I mean, everything really does have to fall in place. Patrick Mahomes ending up with Andy Reid. What would Patrick Mahomes be right now if the Bears actually took him instead of Mitch Trubisky?
Yeah.
Right. I mean,
absolutely.
It really, and so you end up being the perfect guy in the perfect situation. And that's what you have with CJ Stroud. They are one of those sexy picks right now early on, although that might not end up being a good thing. A guy like John McClain, who will join the Blitz tomorrow, as he does every Thursday, has been saying all offseason, record-wise, he does not expect the Texans to be better this year, partly because of the schedule.
Right.
Even though they're a better team, and sometimes you can be a better team than what your previous record was. But it's what do you do in the postseason? Detroit is also one of those trendy, sexy picks this year. Can they take the next step? And, man, I tell you how quickly we forget things. Watching and finishing up Wide Receiver on Netflix, I had forgotten just how flat dominant Detroit was in the first half of the NFC Championship game in San Francisco.
Yeah.
And that big lead was gone by the end of the third quarter.
Yeah.
How do they recover from that? That, to me, is a bigger question. I know the Texans had a big lead on Kansas City in a playoff game, and they still haven't recovered from that.
Look, I think that Detroit recovers because of Dan Campbell, first of all. I don't think he'll let them pout when it comes to that. And they've got a lot of talent on that football team. I like Detroit. I mean, that obviously that entire division, because if you keep reading Barnwell's article, it says the Green Bay Packers are another one of those sexy picks.
Yeah, that's the third one.
So, I like Detroit. I think they're going to be much improved this year. I really do. The Texans, I like what they've done because they didn't just sit pat. And they went out and got another star wide receiver. They got a great defensive player. And so they're going to be better. And you know what? DeMeco Ryans knows you have to do that in the AFC. You cannot stand pat. You've got to go out and get some talent to be able to compete with the Cincinnatis and the Kansas Cities and the Buffaloes. Yeah, you have to. And not to mention their division's going to be tougher, I think, just looking at it right now. All four of those teams, I think, are going to be pretty solid ball clubs.
When you look at it and you start thinking, and as we get closer to the season, we'll obviously, because it's in the handbook, the rule book, make our picks and, divisions and playoffs and Super Bowl and all that kind of stuff. But those are, according to Barnwell, this year's sexy picks, and it's hard to argue with what he has on there. But I'm a little surprised Miami isn't a part of that mix, because Miami, I think, would fall in based on his definition of being one of those sexy picks. I wouldn't put Buffalo or Baltimore in that category.
No.
If Cleveland ever figures it out, although, a couple of years ago with Deshaun Watson, they fell into that and onto that sexy list, and it didn't happen.
Have you heard everybody talking about Watson? He looks as good as he's ever looked. I've heard that I don't know how many times over the last couple of weeks. It's going to be, I hope he is. I'm always a Deshaun Watson fan. Obviously, he got himself in a lot of trouble. But yeah, I hope he recovers and plays good football this year.
And Pledge is telling us, well, wasn't Miami a sexy pick last year? They don't make Barnwell's list.
No.
But they could have been in that. But I think, you look at what they did last year, even the year before, can they take that next step?
I don't think so. Miami?
They've added more speed.
I'm not sure.
They had a healthy quarterback all year.
They did.
If
They've got an unhappy quarterback right now.
But he'll get paid.
You think?
Maybe.
I don't know.
I can't,
not what he wants. I don't think he's going to get paid that.
I think, unhappy now. Once you start playing football, if he can stay healthy.
That's it.
And he did last year. And those receivers, defense might be better. If they don't have to play a playoff game in none-degree weather in Kansas City where people literally died, maybe.
Well, guess what? That happens in the National Football League, unless, you better get home field advantage throughout if you want to guarantee that. That's about the only way to do it.
It really is in so many ways.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting. But it is crazy when you look at just the power dominance on the AFC side and the NFC side. I don't think many or any will pick the Cowboys to win the East, partly because it's against the rules to win that back-to-back. But the Cowboys should be a wild card team, although
I would think so.
You look at the North, it's Detroit and Green Bay. There's not a lot of expectation from Minnesota this year just because of quarterback play. Chicago could be a wild card team.
I think Chicago's going to be better.
You could get three teams from the North. The NFC South, how good is Tampa Bay really going to be?
Somebody's got to win that division.
How good is New Orleans going to be?
Somebody's going to win that division.
You got Atlanta.
Yeah.
How much better does Kirk Cousins make the Falcons?
If I were just picking that division, I'd pick Atlanta just because of that.
Well,
and they've got some pretty good offensive players.
Again, they forgot they've had Kyle Pitts all these years.
Exactly.
And last year they forgot they had Bijan Robinson.
Yes.
Anybody that had Bijan in fantasy understands, dude, how do you forget you have this guy?
I think Cousins will help that offense tremendously.
In the West, San Francisco and LA, the Rams.
Yeah, Rams are picked to be better.
What about Arizona? Can Kyler get them over the hump?
It's Arizona.
What is Seattle going to do without Pete Carroll?
That's a good question.
And then when you look in the NFC East, Dallas and Philadelphia.
I think Washington's going to be better.
Better than what? They won 4 games last year.
Better than that.
All right, so they win 6 games. As long as they're not against Dallas.
Well, exactly.
They're not a playoff team.
It all depends on their quarterback.
Are the Giants a playoff team?
I don't think so, no.
So you got
Giants are a clown show.
So the Cowboys, even as bad as this year might be, they should still be a wild card team.
They should be.
And maybe they go on the road as a wild card team and
and lose.
You know, I mean,
unless they go to Tampa Bay, that's possible.
It is possible. Football season.
I can't wait.
It is here.
Yes.
It also means tailgate season. And maybe over the next couple of weeks, you need to perfect what you're going to be doing at your tailgates, which means you're going to be doing a lot of grilling. And before you fire up that grill, you better get into Tri-County Meat Market, because those great meals start with great meat, and there's no better place than at Tri-County Meat Market. Now, little hint for you, today and tomorrow, they've got Akaushi ribeyes on sale. If you guys want a nice steak, go by there today. Go by there tomorrow, because they are on sale right now for $29 a pound. That is $5 off per pound at Tri-County Meat Market for that Akaushi Wagyu. You're thinking steaks, get into Tri-County. Maybe you want to do some fajitas. Both their beef and chicken seasoned fajitas are incredible. You can buy them without their seasoning on it and do it yourself, but why? Chances are you're not doing it better than what they're going to sell you there at Tri-County Meat Market. I did a tri-tip over the weekend. Their picanhas are great. Beef, chicken, pork. You want to do ribs? Tri-County has what you need with the quality you expect, and you could always take advantage of their Pick 5 for $25. Tri-County always offers a 10% discount for military and first responders. 2 great locations on Ralph Fair Road and on Huebner, or online at tricountymeat.com.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Thursday on the Morning Huddle, the Dallas Cowboys one day closer to camp. So many questions. We'll try to figure out the answers.
And previewing the final game of Spurs Summer League. Can they finish it 4-0? We'll discuss all that and more. Starts at 6 o'clock.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Morning 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Testosterone levels in men can start to decrease as early as 30 years old, and long-term health risks can be extremely damaging to your body. Rock's Discount Vitamins carries a variety of natural testosterone boosters that can immediately provide you with more energy, increase libido, increase metabolism, and improve your mood. Rock's Discount Vitamins natural testosterone boosters can even help you build muscle and lose weight faster. With 11 San Antonio locations, visit rocksdiscountvitamins.com. Thanking God and South Texas for all the support.
At Progressive, we know money can't buy you happiness, but money did help you buy an RV, which means an excuse from working Saturday with your insufferable coworker, Dave. So money is helping you listen to birds chirp instead of Dave chirping about how his toddler is fluent in 3 languages. And it's also why you'll be smelling pine trees in the air, not Dave's tuna melt reheating in a microwave. So save money by bundling your RV or boat insurance with home or auto from Progressive and buy more happiness, or something close to it. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Total Wireless is made to totally keep up with you. We now have unlimited data that never slows you down. Covered by the Verizon 5G network. And for less than $30 a month, we make your phone your ride or die. Switch now and pick a free 5G phone with qualified plan purchase. And your 4th line at no additional cost. Visit your local Total Wireless store today. Total Wireless, we're totally with you. Actual speeds may vary by location. For data management practices, see TotalWireless.com.
This is it. Shop the Lowe's Closeout event to get up to 70% off select major appliances for your home. Plus, get up to 60% off select patio furniture and accessories for your outdoor spaces. So hurry into your local store today, because these deals are too good to last. Shop them now before they're gone. Because Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows home improvement. Valid through 8/7. While supplies last. Selection varies by location.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? I think my battery's dead. With free battery testing and charging, we can help you get back on the road.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
So what if I need a new one? We have the right Duralast battery for you, only at AutoZone.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
And what about my old battery? We can recycle it right here at America's #1 battery destination.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
The Morning Huddle.
You know you've gotten old.
I do.
When you're comfortable having a conversation on speakerphone with
Well,
other
there
people
was
in the
intent
room.
behind that.
Trying to use you as like a fullback, like a blocker.
A shield
to kind of get me off the phone.
Well, Minix
And we
didn't
didn't
care.
know. He didn't. So we just carried on. And by that
So-
point, I was committed.
They're talking about this concert. Minix says, does AJ want to go to this show tomorrow? And Rob says, AJ, you want to go to a show tomorrow? And I say, what is it? And Rob says, yeah, he's in.
What? The Morning Huddle with AJ and Rob. Weekday mornings, 6 to 10. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. What I learned from that promo from the morning show?
Yeah.
If you invite AJ, he's going. He doesn't know what he's in for.
He has no clue. He doesn't care.
He doesn't care.
No.
I mean, in reality, I mean, he's new to town. His wife still lives in Las Vegas. She hasn't moved here yet. His kids are in Vegas. He's got nothing else to do. Even got him in, on the guest list, +1, and then I took that away so Pledge could go.
Well, yeah, that was his +1, wasn't it?
That was, yeah, but
they did look cute together, by the way.
They really did.
I thought they were really sweet together. Those two guys.
They took morning cuddle a little too far.
I think they did.
Although they did wait till it was after midnight, so it truly would be a morning cuddle.
I think there's some pictures floating around too.
There's no pictures.
No?
No.
Huh.
No.
Okay.
None.
I have to check my sources.
Oh, was you gonna open your phone?
They were sweet together. They make a great couple. Pledge and AJ.
They share a burger or something?
Shared something.
Tater tots?
Yeah.
You're so bad.
You're so bad. You know what I love about football season coming? And I just saw this on our YouTube channel, is that Lolo Best Dad, I guess is the name there.
Lolo Best Dad.
Yeah. Is making excuses for the Miami Dolphins. And I love that because that's what you do, right? I mean, I got to sit here and listen to excuses with Jason Minix about the Cowboys every day.
Reasons or excuses?
Excuses.
Oh, okay.
So I'm just saying. And so I understand, but that's the way that it goes when it's your favorite team. You take up for them.
Yeah.
That's what you do. And so I appreciate that little comment.
What, are you going to read the comment?
I'll read it. It says,
right.
let's not forget 25 of the 53-man roster players were hurt. The entire offensive line was decimated going into that Kansas City game.
That's true.
And it was 25 below.
It's true.
So if you had all those guys, would it have mattered?
Their offensive line was decimated.
Decimated.
Yeah. His word. And it's accurate. That is true. So is that a reason or an excuse?
It's an excuse.
Well,
you're in the playoffs.
You're in the playoffs. But as we've all seen, reason or excuse, and they could be the same, right? I mean, they could be the same. See, that's it. The Cowboys in their playoff failure, massive, colossal failure against Green Bay.
Yes.
Nothing but excuses. There weren't reasons. A couple of years ago, Dez caught it. They screwed it up. Is that a reason or excuse? Right? I mean, sometimes you get key injuries at the worst time. There's a reason that Cincinnati wasn't very good without Joe Burrow. Or it's an excuse. Well, we lost our quarterback. Is that a reason or excuse?
Well, it's a reason and an excuse.
Well, that's it.
I mean, look,
and it could be both. He is
sure.
I think Lolo Best Dad.
Who voted on that, Lolo?
He did. Sure, he got a birthday card or
I'm
a Father's Day card.
Yes.
You go into Target and you buy the little trophy. It's the Best Dad, right? Nothing wrong with that. I mean, yeah. I mean, a lot of teams have reasons or excuses about why they didn't get it done last year.
Right.
The Dallas Cowboys do not.
They have nothing.
That was just a complete meltdown by everybody on the Dallas Cowboys
staff. Stars aligned perfectly for the Dallas Cowboys. That's what makes it that much more disappointing than just a bad performance by the entire team. Everything was in their favor. Everything pointed to them making a deep playoff run.
It did.
And they didn't do it.
They didn't do it, but yeah, it sucks when you get all those injuries.
Yeah.
It happens.
Sucks.
I mean,
it's football.
I mean, Lolo, Best Dad, dude, what Super Bowl was it where Kansas City lost because they had no offensive line and Mahomes had no time?
That's exactly right.
Reason or excuse, Joe?
Well, it's both.
Oh, I mean, but again, I mean,
Look, if you're in the Super Bowl, you've played a long season. Chances are nobody is 100% healthy, and if you are, you've been lucky as hell.
Well,
so everybody has to deal with injuries.
Sure,
everybody.
Sure.
And so,
but when you get multiple injuries on your offensive line,
that's
and
just
your quarterback,
bad luck.
And your okay,
that's just bad luck.
Mean, but you don't hammer Kansas City for losing that Super Bowl because they had all the injuries. They had no chance going in. We all knew that, man. How were they going to stop? How was Patrick Mahomes going to have enough time to do whatever?
I wasn't bashing Miami until I saw that comment, and then now it's like, if they were so
decimated, I got your back, Lolo, best dad, dude.
If they were so decimated, I wouldn't even have made the trip. And froze my butt off.
You still got to go.
No, I wouldn't.
You still got to go to work. What would Ryan Eagle say if they were like, we're too hurt to play, we forfeit?
I would have. I would have bashed him for that.
Yeah.
But I'm saying if I'm a member of that team, all of a sudden I got a hangnail.
Well, that's because you're a weenie. That's why
I can run on that foot.
Yeah, it's because you.
So instead of 25, there would have been 26.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I'd have been cozy in my house.
No, you would have had to go and then stand on the sideline.
No, I'm too hurt to do that.
Oh, you just have a hangnail, sir. You could stand.
I would have had to come up with something else.
What kind of teammate are you?
I'd have to come up with something else.
What kind of guy am I actually working with
I
here?
tell you what, it's that's the whole ridiculousness of that. It was 25 below or whatever the hell it was.
Yeah, put a roof on that thing.
Miami's not going to win that game if they were 100% healthy.
Well, this is true.
So
in their history, aren't they like 0 for a gazillion when it's below 40?
Something like that.
Yes.
They need home field advantage throughout. That's the only way Miami makes it.
I think every stadium needs a roof and walls and a heater.
I agree. And they're building a stadium in Buffalo without a roof.
Exactly.
Spending a billy on a stadium with no roof.
What about the new place in Chicago?
Ridiculous.
I mean,
even the folks in Minnesota realized they needed a roof.
Well, they had a roof.
No, they didn't. Back in the old purple people eater days, they did not.
Well, at that old stadium, but there weren't domes back then.
No.
And
that was
or Joe Pearson wouldn't have been able to throw that Hail Mary football out of the stadium if there was a roof on that thing, and he could have got that ball and made a lot of money on eBay.
It's like the Cowboys in the Ice Bowl against Green Bay. Holy cow.
They should put a roof over Lambeau.
How the hell? They're never going to do that.
Wow.
How the hell do you play football in that? I mean, honestly. And what's worse about that?
What, Joe?
How do you pay money to go sit there and watch a football game?
You get liquored up.
Holy cow. I don't care how liquored up you are. Holy cow. Best dad? I'm sure you're a great dad, buddy. The Dolphins, they were done.
Joe is not. I mean, we're going to question your manhood. You don't want to. If you sit out in the stands watching a game in the snow when it's 9 degrees outside.
No, I'd rather not do that. I mean, if that you want to take my man card away for that, go ahead.
Every name that you're calling Joe right now is accurate.
What, Wiener?
Sure.
Weenie?
We'll go with those.
I was looking for the noodles.
It'd be all.
Yeah, I'd like to see you and you're happy behind sitting in Lambeau Field when it's 25 below zero.
No, I wouldn't do that.
Well, exactly.
I wouldn't do that. But for the people that do, God bless you. I don't want. I've been in some cold weather games.
Sure.
I mean,
as have I.
We had who was it? Madison Judson a couple of years in the playoffs, and we were outside at Hero Stadium, and Greg Shelton brought a heater, and I took that thing for myself.
Well, poor Greg.
He got him pneumonia out of it.
I'm sure he did.
Yeah.
Wow. Poor Shelton. All the things he does for us.
Yeah.
And you were that selfish?
I was. That particular day, I was.
Dude, I went to a game, the last game for Casey, my daughter, at Brandeis. They were in the playoffs, and they played New Braunfels, and I think it was like 25 that day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I had to sit up there and watch her cheer.
When you sound so not best dad. I had to watch her cheer.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm so happy when she went to UTSA. I didn't have to worry about that anymore.
Because they play
Inside the friendly confines.
Did you go to the games and just watch the cheerleaders?
No.
All right.
I didn't.
All right.
I mean, I watch her.
Sure.
But at that time, I was working too. So it was like I wasn't just sitting in the stands.
Yeah. I remember when Erica was in high school, Johnson played Steele in San Marcos at Bobcat Stadium in 9-degree weather.
Ugh.
Johnson won that game, beat those Steele Knights.
Dude, I don't like cold weather.
Cold.
Man. I don't like cold weather. I really don't.
That's
why I live where I live.
Went to a snow game one time at the Air Force Academy. And we go to the game. It's snowing. Air Force is playing Utah. And we had a suite. It was for all the radio affiliates. And we had this nice suite. And I was like, dude, it's a snow game. I'm going to go sit in the snow.
Uh-huh.
Second quarter, I was back in the suite.
Exactly right.
It sucked.
Well, last year wasn't so bad.
Thanksgiving Day,
at the Army Navy game.
1993 or 4, whatever. I think it was 93. Cowboys and Dolphins.
Yeah.
On Thanksgiving Day, it snowed.
At the Leon Lett game?
It was the Leon Lett game.
Yeah.
It was miserable. Remember, we all went up in the old stadium, the last game against the Ravens with the 2 longest runs in history. It was stupid cold at that game as well. So I've been in some cold weather games before.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That's great. It wasn't too bad last year at the Army Navy game, but the year before it was. What was it last year? Philly? Boston. And so in Philly, it was cold. That's when it was cold.
My stat guy's the best in the business. Old John Robbins.
Uh-huh.
If you're watching on YouTube, December 6, 2013, at a Hero Stadium,
gosh.
how quickly he found photos and just sent me all these photos of how bundled up we were broadcasting that game at Hero Stadium. It was miserable that day. Not pictured there, the heater, that little space heater.
Yeah.
That was right underneath my chair.
And poor John and Shelton had to freeze their behinds off.
Yes.
Wow.
It's all about taking care of the talent. Now, again, you
obviously weren't taking care of the talent.
I mean, John likes to, go camping and live out in the, sleep in the RV and go to Colorado where it's stupid cold. So does Shelton. Those guys, they were miserable, but they were fine. I thought I was going to die.
I don't like cold weather, Minix.
Well, I was going to say who does.
A lot of people do.
There are people that do.
I don't like it. That's why I live in the great city of San Antonio.
Yeah.
I love it.
So if, I don't know, Chicago called, would you move?
If they called what?
Said, hey, you want a job up here?
Well, how much you paying me?
$12.
Yeah, no.
Oh.
$12 million? I'll be right there. Yeah. 1.2 million? I'm on my way.
Yeah. I can buy those little things that go in your shoes to help keep it warm.
I'd be
hand warmers, foot warmers.
I'd figure it out.
You'd figure it out.
Yes.
I was gonna say, Skip Bayless's job is about to come open.
It is.
Although he's in California now, so
I really wouldn't want to live there either. I'll be totally honest.
But for the right price.
Well, sure. It'd have to be a hell of a lot.
Yeah.
They're gonna take half. Half. At least.
At the very least.
I think Skip was doing all right financially.
Yeah, I think he's just fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been interesting to see what all happens there.
I've been accused. Well, I heard a story today that ESPN's already squashed any reunion hope between him and Stephen A.
They wish him well.
Sure.
Although Stephen A could bring him back. I mean, true story. And a lot of you know this or remember this, but there was a time Stephen A got let go from ESPN and Skip brought him back.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. Skip brought him back. So could Stephen A return that favor? And that kind of, now I don't know what Skip does for Stephen A's show and platform right now, but Stephen A's trying to get $25 million a year. He could go the Pat McAfee route and just create his own, and he's got his own production company, and he could put Skippy to work if he wants.
But. Yeah, he could. Hey, whatever floats your boat. Not a huge Skip Bayless fan. Just truth be told.
Really?
I mean, he does what he does, and that's fine.
He's a hardworking dude.
Is he?
He is.
Uh-huh.
And he's in person, he's very much like he is on the air. And always always on the go. Stephen A in person. Back when the Spurs were good and he was doing his regular radio show back in those days, when they would be in San Antonio, Stephen A would do a show from here.
Sure.
And and so you kind of get to know somebody over time because they were here a lot. And then you go to dinner, go do things and stuff like it. Very different person off the air than he is on. Very nice guy. Very nice guy.
He's trying to get into politics now too.
Yeah, well, yeah.
No, he is.
I know he is.
He does some of those national political shows.
Yeah, trying to expand the brand.
Yeah. Hey,
$25 million a year is what he's trying to get from ESPN.
What's he make now? 14?
Yeah, they offered him 18, and he turned it down.
Wow. Well, everybody's got their price,
according to reports. Yeah. Sark talking today at SEC Media Days. Let's hear from the Longhorns head coach coming up here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Guys, did you know testosterone levels start to decline in your 30s? If you're feeling a lack of energy and drive, it could be caused by low T. The answer is simple. Go get your levels checked at Synergenics Testosterone and Weight Loss. You don't want to put it off, and at Synergenics, they make it quick and easy. You're going to get customized care from medical providers who specialize in testosterone treatment. As we all age, we can lose our energy or motivation, gain a little weight, all potential symptoms of low T. Best thing to do is get your levels checked. So book that initial appointment online at fixmylowt.com. If you're taking better care of your yard than your health, you don't want to put this off any longer. Go to fixmylowt.com. They have an on-site lab, so you'll get your results back at your first visit. Want to get that energy and drive back? Go to fixmylowt.com and book that appointment. You can also be evaluated for treatment with prescription weight loss medication. Book your appointment now. Fixmylowt.com. That's fixmylowt.com.
This is The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons 2 to 6. KTFM Floresville. And everywhere at sasportstar.com.
Hey everybody, it's Joe Reinagel from The Blitz. I cannot tell you how happy I am with my brand new Connecticut quality water softener. Had it in my house now for about 2 weeks, and the difference it is making is just unbelievable. Connecticut's been serving San Antonio for over 50 years. Their products are made in America. And you live in San Antonio in South Texas, a water softener, it's a must. And Connecticut is the absolute best. Up to 80% more efficient than competing models. Simple design, fewer moving parts, and in fact, you don't plug it in. No plug-in at all. It does not run on electricity. It only works when you need it to work. And right now, if you've been thinking about a Connecticut quality water softener in your home, Connecticut is going to let you try one for 90 days, absolutely free with no contract. All you have to do is give them a call, 656-PURE, 656-7873, or ConnecticutSA.com.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Around here at Wrangler, we are all excited for spring. The longer days, the warmer nights. When you've got your pick of shorts and jeans, either works just fine. Blue skies, open roads. Wrangler, for the ride of life.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? I think my battery's dead. With free battery testing and charging, we can help you get back on the road.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
So what if I need a new one? We have the right Duralast battery for you, only at AutoZone.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
And what about my old battery? We can recycle it right here at America's #1 battery destination.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Around here at Wrangler, we are all excited for spring. The longer days, the warmer nights. When you've got your pick of shorts and jeans, either works just fine. Blue skies, open roads. Wrangler, for the ride of life.
This is a consumer alert to all U.S. taxpayers who owe the IRS back taxes or have unfiled tax returns. If you owe $10,000 or more in back taxes, you can now take advantage of active programs that provide relief to struggling taxpayers and may reduce or eliminate what you owe if you qualify. Even if you are facing liens, levies, audits, wage garnishment, or already in a payment plan, call the Easy Tax Relief Helpline now to check what savings you may qualify for at 800-505-4169. You may qualify to reduce up to 99% of what you owe or for other special programs. Once qualified and enrolled, you can rest assured that your assets are protected and all collection efforts will be stopped. Billions of dollars in savings are available through these relief programs for struggling taxpayers, but you must call to see if you qualify. To see what savings you qualify for, call 800-505-4169. 800-505-4169. That's 800-505-4169.
San Antonio's Sports Star. San Antonio's Sports Center.
Well, some good news for a couple of former UTSA players, including UTSA wide receiver Joshua Cephas. He has been drafted by the San Antonio Brahmas today. Atlanta Hawks have signed a two-way contract with UTSA men's basketball star Keaton Wallace. Houston Texans reported to training camp today, and the Spurs are 3-0 in the Las Vegas Summer League. They're back in action on Friday against Philly.
Guess what day it is?
Joe Reinagel.
And for the third time in 7 seasons, the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Mike. What day is it, Mike? Hump day.
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 Everybody, hump day. Here we go.
Hump day.
Yeah.
I love that
hump
Campbell.
day, everybody. Hope you're out there screaming away. Hump day, hump day, hump day.
Are you?
Yeah. A good scream, man. Let's wake this city up.
Really?
Hump day, everybody.
Hump day.
Yeah.
Did you just say you like a good scream? Is that
Sure.
what you just said?
Yeah, doesn't
All right.
everybody?
Sure.
Yes. Absolutely. Yeah. Happy Wednesday, everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for spending a little time with us.
There you go.
We appreciate it.
Absolutely.
All these things, man. It bugs me sometimes.
What?
Like the watch?
What about your watch?
Well, it buzzes. Like when I get a text or an email or, some kind of a political call.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I get them. And the good thing about my phone, it will say like spam risk,
Yes.
political call.
Mine says
Whatever.
likely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Scam.
whatever the
Yeah.
case,
Yeah.
whatever the case may be. But it buzzes my watch.
Well, some people like that.
Why?
Bzz.
No.
Then turn the setting off.
I don't want to turn it off
Then
because
quit
I don't
bitching.
mind. I don't mind it once I leave the show. It's just for this 4 hours. I just take it off.
You can't. What's the word? Turn off the settings for these 4 hours.
Dude, I am not
you-
that smart.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you turn your ringer off most of the time during these 4
I got
hours.
it. I got it right where it's supposed to be. I don't want to screw with it. And that's it. So I'm not going to take a chance on doing that. And then I'm spending the rest of the night trying to figure out how to put it back. That makes sense?
Yep.
So there you go.
Yep.
Who wants to do that? Nobody.
Well, see, Joe, it's like going to the post office when
Right.
you got a package that you got to
Yeah.
drop off. You either deal with it or you don't.
Uh-huh.
There are steps you could probably easily do to fix a problem that only bothers you, so you have to fix it, or you don't bitch about it.
So if you see me looking, it's like the thing just buzzed.
Okay.
So there you go. Like I've got a visual voicemail that I need to check after the show.
Really? Because
Yeah.
they leave the voicemail that you only get half of the message about the warranty, so you miss the good stuff.
The warranty.
Well,
No, this is looks like a real number.
oh, a real number.
Well, it's an 830 number.
Oh,
So
a
we'll
fake
see.
number. Oh,
We'll
so
see.
somebody from the Braunfels calling you.
Is that New Braunfels or Bernie or something, right?
Well, it could be New Braunfels, Bernie. It could be Seguin.
Could
I mean, exactly.
Could be.
It could.
Could be.
Yes. You never know.
Well,
and it could be a spam call using an 830 number.
Could be that.
You know, like you get them with the 210 numbers.
No
What's
kidding.
the other area code for San Antonio? I always forget.
I don't know.
There's
It's
another
7 something. Isn't it? 7. I don't know.
Which just looks like it's a bad number.
Well, it does.
Right?
Yeah.
Like
I haven't seen too many of those though.
No, but they're out there.
Yeah.
We see them sometimes when people call in. But if I see that number on my phone and you're not in my phone, I don't answer it. Although have you gotten this? You know, I know you're not an Apple guy, so I don't know if you get this. But if somebody calls you and maybe you've interacted with them before, but you haven't saved their number, it might say likely James Pledger.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it knows your contact.
Wow.
But if it's not saved in your phone, it will tell you likely Joe Reinagle. Although you guys are on my phone, but I'm using you as an example.
In case you're wondering, it's 726.
Yeah, I just said that.
You did?
No. It was 7 something.
Right. That's what I said.
Yeah, 726.
So we were right.
Anybody with a 726 number? Do people actually answer your call, or do they think you're spam?
I wouldn't answer that. I would think it's from somewhere crazy. Now, wow.
What?
Well, it showed a map, and I was thinking it was just going to be a small portion of San Antonio, but it's like everywhere.
Well, they ran out of 210 numbers, so now it doesn't matter where you are. If you're in this area, you get 726 if you get a new phone. See, like if Ken's 5 owned your phone, because I know you had a work phone that you never checked, but
very seldom.
But if Ken's 5 owned your phone, and when you retired from Channel 5, if they would have taken your phone away and said, "Sorry, Joe, you don't get to keep your number. All your calls are now going to Nate Ryan," and you had to go down and get yourself a new phone, you would have a 726 area code.
This is true. But I've had this phone number for about, 20 years, I think. It's been a long time.
Maybe longer.
Long time.
But you own that.
Right.
Right?
So,
I mean, but if Ken's owned that, when you stopped working there, you wouldn't have been able to keep that phone.
I made sure I kept it, personal business. That's what you got to do, Minix.
You were a 2-phone guy, but your other phone was in your bag dead half the time.
Exactly.
I mean, even your bosses didn't call your work phone because, quite frankly, you should have had one. I mean, what a waste of money that was.
And it was a crappy
for
Apple
all
phone,
all those years.
It was a bad Apple phone.
Well, it was a work phone. You had an Apple III, an iPhone 2.
It was bad.
You're going to upgrade your phone. You didn't use it.
I did upgrade. I got a nice little Samsung.
Not your work phone.
Well, they wouldn't upgrade it. That wasn't like my choice. And I could just go down to the Apple store and say, "Hey, give me a new one on the company."
Yeah.
I couldn't do it.
No. And they wouldn't do it for you because you didn't use it.
Well, maybe I would have used it if they'd have given me a better phone.
You wouldn't have used it?
You don't know that.
You wouldn't have used it.
I might have.
You wouldn't have. You wouldn't have.
Probably wouldn't.
It was a waste of money for them.
I agree. There are probably a lot of things I did that were wasting money for them.
Like 20 years of service.
Are you kidding me? 25.
Yeah, but the last 20 you were mailing it in. First 5, you worked your ass off.
The last 20 mailed it in. Yeah.
Sit up there for 2 minutes a day.
Well, things don't change, do they? Actually, a little longer than that.
Unless Taylor needed more time.
Nah, Taylor. I will give Bill Taylor a lot of credit because he was pretty respectful of my time. Yeah, he really was.
It's going to be sunny and hot. I need 3 extra minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
Tonight. You got to explain the heat.
So,
How
bad the drought is, even though it rained 10 inches last night. Still in a drought.
Mm-hmm. The Texas Longhorns heading to the SEC. Big day up in Dallas today as SEC media days are going on. It was the Longhorns' turn. Aggies, Mike Elko, he'll talk tomorrow.
Yep.
Sark had some interesting things to say today. And as they transition into the SEC from the Big 12, which has taken its fair of well-deserved shots this week from the SEC types, Sark has built this roster for the last couple of years preparing for the transition. And there's a key there that, he talked about that's got to be big for this program.
As far as our transition in the Southeastern Conference, I think the key word is respect. We have a ton of respect for this conference. We have a ton of respect for the teams, the coaches, the players, and the fans. This is the elite conference in college football, and we're fortunate enough to be part of it. And we won't do anything without having a level of respect of who we play, where we're playing them, the types of players that they have, the coaching that they have. And I think on the flip side of that, we have to go earn their respect. We're not going to get anything in this deal. Nothing's going to be free. Okay, we're going to have to go earn the respect of our opponents, the opposing coaches, the opposing fans, and that's going to be kind of on the forefront of what we do.
You know, I love what he said there at the end. They're going to have to go earn respect because you're right. Look, Texas coming in more so than Oklahoma. I don't care who they play, whether it's Vanderbilt or Mississippi State or name a team. That is going to be a huge game for that opposing team.
Yes.
It's going to be, and they're going to want nothing more than to knock those guys off. So, yeah, Texas is not going to be able to take a day off, and they're not in the SEC schedule. I don't care who it is. They got to come to play every Saturday.
When you think about the brand that they are, and you're right about that, to steal a line from Shedeur Sanders, it's everybody's Super Bowl.
It is, and it will be.
And it will be. But one of the cool things is the fact that with all of the conference realignment, a lot of great rivalries have been lost. With Texas going to the SEC, you get two that are back. I mean, Arkansas is what it is, but the fact that you get A&M again, and Sark was talking about what it's like to play A&M and just how great it is that they get that opportunity this year to renew that great rivalry that should never have gone away in the first place.
Well, it's a great game. It's a game that, like I said, divides households, and one that, it's interesting. Our players, I listen to our players talk sometimes, and they're like, our players are probably way more excited for this game than most fans would probably think because we haven't played the game in a while. But the majority of the players on our two rosters probably went on visits together at, if not one school, both schools. And one guy chose Texas and one guy chose A&M. And so I think there's a great deal of excitement. I know Coach Elko's done a great job in that program in a short time being there. It's going to be a great environment in Kyle Field Thanksgiving weekend. So we're definitely looking forward to it.
And he's right. And it will be. And the fact that it's Thanksgiving weekend, there'll be a lot riding on that game, regardless of the records of either school. There'll be a lot riding on it. So it's going to be I'm glad it's back. It should be back. It's a natural rivalry, and I'm glad it's back. And I think, truth be told, everybody's happy about it, except maybe some higher-ups in Aggie Nation.
I think they're excited about it, too. And so for Texas, three major rivalry games with, the renewal of A&M, Arkansas, and then, of course, the fact that the OU game doesn't go away, that's still going to happen at the Cotton Bowl in Dallas. And Sark talked about what makes that the best game.
And I've been fortunate. Like I said, I've been part of the Iron Bowl. I've been part of the Apple Cup in Washington. I've been part of SC, UCLA. I've been part of some great games. This is the most unique game for sure that I've ever been a part of. When you pull into the state fair and you start smelling those corn dogs and turkey legs, and there's fans from both teams, and then you get in those locker rooms, and the locker rooms literally are 20 feet apart, and you're staring at each team, and one goes first, the next one goes next, and it can get a little contentious in there, but that's okay. And as we come out of that tunnel, and that's OU's tunnel, and we're staring at a sea of burnt orange, and you just want to get there. And it's a unique game because half of the game is a home game. The other half of the game is a road game. And I had to learn that the hard way in year one. We got stuck in OU's end, and we were false start, and we couldn't do anything right. And so you have to play to that style of game. But it being split right down the 50, it's the who's who on the sidelines. And I'll tell you this about both teams. both teams play as hard as they possibly can play in that game. And again, that's to take nothing away from any other great game that I've been part of, but this one is uniquely special. I think Norman's about 2.5 hours from Dallas. We're about 3 hours from Dallas. And the fact that we kind of come upon the state fair here in Dallas is really special. And so it's a game that I'm humbled and honored that I get to be part of. I'm getting to go coach in my 4th one, and looking forward to the opportunity.
You know, he is so right about that. And the beauty of that game, Texas, Oklahoma, is exactly right. The stadium looks so cool. Orange on one side, red on the other. And it's split right down the middle. It is one of the loudest places that I've ever attended a football game. And it is special. It really is special. And what's great about it, it's a rivalry, but both sides genuinely hate each other. I mean, it's a genuine hate. You have rivalries where after the game, it's that, but OU Texas, they just don't like each other, period.
They don't.
No.
They don't. Now, obviously, Sark was asked about the quarterback situation. And the fact that Arch Manning has decided to sit and wait. And a lot of people didn't think he would be willing to wait as long as he has. But as Sark said, it's all by design, and everybody is on board with it.
Well, I think that's something, historically for us, part of recruiting is your track record. And we've been fortunate to coach some pretty good quarterbacks. We've been fortunate to do it for kind of some decades now. We've been fortunate to have some pretty good quarterback rooms. And I think the Manning family is pretty well aware of that. And I think they trained Arch to try to put himself in the best position to try to play in the best conference in America, and then ultimately put himself in the best position to further his career playing in the National Football League. And so with that, I think Arch's development has been important to the family, and he's reaping the benefit of those things. And so it hasn't been very difficult at all. I think it's been pretty simple for him.
He sounds like he's dealing with the mafia. It's been very, very good for the family. I mean, it sounds like, well, as long as I make the family happy.
The Manning Mafia is real.
Right, it really is. Hey, again, what's going to be fun to watch, or interesting to watch, maybe is a better word, that if Quinn has a bad game, how loud is the fan base going to be for Arch Manning?
The good news is, according to Sark, Quinn Ewers doesn't worry about the outside noise.
I think Quinn's probably like the coolest guy in the room. He doesn't get caught up in what a Heisman high, but probably if you asked him, would he even know? He's just not caught up in that stuff. When Quinn gets free time, he's going to go hunt or he's going to go fish. When he's here, he's going to work, and he's just working on his craft. He's being with his teammates. And so even in game, when you think about Quinn, when he shows those moments of emotion, right, on a great throw, it's almost like shocking to people, because even when the bad moments occur, he stays so calm and so cool in the moment that with the hype, I just don't think we have to worry too much about that. He's more focused on trying to win a championship, playing the best football he can play, being the best leader, the best teammate he can be. That's probably more important to him than what award might be down the road, because some people are saying he might win it. I mean, there's so much football to go play. I don't think he's worried about it at all.
And you'd like to hear that, and I agree with it. Look, I'm not worried about Sark or Quinn if he has a bad game or throws a pick or two and whatever the case may be, because he's going to stick with him. But the fan base is what I'm worried about, and what kind of reaction are you going to hear from them? And I have a feeling it could get loud, depending on Quinn's performance, obviously. But that Arch Manning guy's sitting in the wings, and comes with lots of hype, and everybody wants to see him play.
That he does. It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Again, the Aggies, Mike Elko, he'll take the big stage tomorrow. So tomorrow on the Blitz, we'll hear a lot about what Elko is saying, his first year as the head coach going into his first season there at Texas A&M. And the good news for Elko, he was there as a DC. He's been down there as a coordinator? What's it going to be like now as the head coach? A lot of that coming up tomorrow here on The Blitz. TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine is excited to announce a partnership that is revolutionizing access to care for orthopedic patients. The HURT app provides free 24/7 access to orthopedic expertise. HURT is the app to have before you need it, so you don't want to wait for an injury to happen. Go download the HURT now for free, fast virtual access to orthopedic specialists. The HURT app is available in the App Store and Google Play. You can learn more about the HURT app and the Ortho Now Injury Clinic online at tsaog.com. That's tsaog.com.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Have you gotten your hands on Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds at HEB yet? Southern Recipe small batch offers big, bold flavors like hot honey, spicy dill, and sea salt and cracked black pepper. Bonus, you're going to love the low-carb, high-protein crunch. Turn snack time from ordinary to extraordinary with flavorful pork rinds. Pick up your favorite flavors of Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds at HEB today.
All right, when it comes to getting life insurance for your family, a lot of excuses can get in the way. But ask yourself this: if something were to happen to me, who would pay the mortgage, the kids' education, and the other bills? Then forget the excuses and check out Ethos Life, the online, easy way to get life insurance in 10 minutes. Ethos has rates that you can afford, like a $500,000 policy for a 40-year-old male starting at $1 a day or $30 a month, with a few health questions and no medical exam. Get your free quote right now at checkethos.com. That's checkethos.com. Not available in all states. Rates do vary.
This is the story of the one. As head of maintenance at a concert hall, he knows the show must always go on. That's why he works behind the scenes, ensuring every light is working, the HVAC is humming, and his facility shines. With Grainger's supplies and solutions for every challenge he faces, plus 24/7 customer support, his venue never misses a beat. Call quickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hi, my name's Jason Thompson. I've lived in San Antonio for more than 50 years. Went to grade school, high school, and graduated from law school right here. San Antonians have trusted me as their attorney after serious injury and fatality collisions since 1994. My website is alawyerforus.com. Why a lawyer for us? Well, after several years of practice, I watched as insurance companies created their own law firms solely to defend against auto claims. Today, there are very few insurance companies that do not have their own captive law firm filled with attorneys whose job is to minimize what the insurance company has to pay on an auto claim. If you or a family member is injured in a traffic collision, you will need your own attorney. Just remember alawyerforus.com. For many lawyers you see on billboards, your case will be handled by a non-lawyer or a staff lawyer. If you call me, Jason Thompson, I will be the lawyer you speak with. The initial consultation is always free. If you or a family member needs an experienced attorney you can trust, I want you to call me, Jason Thompson. My number is 900-0400. That's 210-900-0400 or alawyerforus.com.
Listen to 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star on your Amazon or Google smart speaker and just say, Alexa, play 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. On Twitter, at Joe Reinagel210. Tweet at me, at Jason Minix. Come hang out with both of us in Las Vegas in August. Going out to Circa Las Vegas.
Like that music?
All the details are online at sasportstar.com, where you can go find a link that will take you to discounted room rates at both the Circa and the D, and also info on the Circa Sports Ultimate Contest weekend, which is Circa Survivor and Circa Million. You got to enter in Nevada, but you can play from anywhere. So that weekend is going to be a massive weekend that they're having. There'll be celebrities there, different things going on in relation to the contest, and it's Vegas. Now, if you're going to Vegas between now and then, you can still go sign up. You just have to sign up in Vegas. We want you to come party with us in Las Vegas.
And you need to, because you'll have FOMO if you don't.
FOMO.
Yeah.
FOMO if you don't.
FOMO if you don't.
FOMO. Yeah, we heard that a lot. A lot of you had the FOMOs when we were out there during the NCAA tournament and opening day of Major League Baseball.
Yes, come out there with us. We're going to have a blast. And Sark is a Great place. A lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of fun.
You know, the Cowboys are a week away from reporting to training camp in Oxnard.
That's crazy, isn't it?
And again, the first couple days when they get out there in the middle of the week next week, Jerry will have his State of the Cowboys address, which will be interesting. Next weekend, the whole San Antonio Sports Star crew will fly out there to kick off our AA Best Bail Bonds Cowboys training camp coverage. And we do that because first couple days, there's not much going on.
Right.
We want to be there for the first padded practice, which we will be, because that's when you really start to learn. But talking season is there, and I'd like to think that there are people out there that understand the rules if you're going to go on a national program and talk. Now, I love Charles Haley, but he was on with Kay Adams on Up and Adams. And you know what he said the Cowboys need to do with Dak Prescott?
What's that?
Trade the guy.
He kept backloading everything. So now he's screwed. So now he, hey, his bill came due, and he doesn't have the money to be able to do that. And so what he's going to have to do is he's going to have to find another way around the salary cap, or push a lot of the older guys' salary cap way back. And then you don't know whether these guys going to play 1 year or 2 years, and then all of it come due again. So, hey, he gambled a long time, and now time is up. So if I can tell you this, trade that. Just put him up for the trade. Guess what? Every team in the league be after him.
Yeah.
Every team in the league. Dak is a winner. Dak is a great person, a great leader. I know him. I go up there all the time. CD Lamb, quiet guy, leader. Hey, he wants the ball. Here's Jerry Rice. Hey, just give it to me. I want it. And so how do you not keep those guys together?
Well, in 1 minute he says trade, and the next minute he says you got to keep them together. Is it a package deal or what?
You know what, Charles? He has a no trade clause in his contract.
Yeah,
it's not that easy.
I bet if Jerry said, "Hey, we've got a deal worked out with X team."
Again, Haley said, and I love the guy, every team would be lined up for him. All right.
But I don't know if every team, but there would
be a lot that would love to have Dak Prescott. Although how much are they willing to give up for him? Now, Dak would have to waive the no trade clause, which means
right,
have a new deal in place with wherever he's going.
Yes,
and be okay with that. It's possible, but the way he framed it, no. Now, if that is the case, if I'm Jerry and all right, Dak has said, I'm not signing with you. Okay, well, can we work out a trade? Get something for your investment
in
Dak Prescott. How much more does Jerry want to invest in him? But if he's not going to be the quarterback of the Cowboys, can Jerry get something in return? But Charles is like, just trade the guy. Put him up for sale, and, the teams will line up.
Well, and some teams would, and you just would have to see which team is Dak interested in. I mean, so he could pick and choose. If it's a team of his liking, then maybe they could pull that off if that's what they want to do.
Well, and you've got to find a team that would have the salary cap space to absorb the new Dak Prescott contract.
That too.
So, it's easy to say, all right, well, the Raiders. Okay, but the Raiders have some high-priced players. So what other moves have to make just to be able to go fit them in? It's not that easy, but I do think he's right because he's been around Jerry a lot. The credit card bill is due.
It is due.
How are you going to figure out how to kick this can down the road? Can you open up another card and start putting stuff over there and go? I mean, that's the devil in the salary cap situation that the Cowboys have found themselves in.
I don't know how teams do it, but some teams do it. I mean, look at Philadelphia. I mean, how in the world are they doing what they're doing? I mean, honestly, and they're squeezing in a bunch of salaries there. And I look, I don't know how it's done, but if you sign Dak, CD, Micah, you already got Trayvon, you can rework some of those deals, obviously, but you're going to have a hard time putting much else around those guys, even though you do have some young players that you're relying on this year. It is possible. It's just whether Jerry and Dak can come to an agreement.
And Jerry and Dak, Jerry and CD, Jerry and, yeah, lot of things need to happen.
Lots of
for the
things.
Dallas Cowboys. And once we get out to training camp and we're actually talking about position battles and less about contract talks and those sort of things, it will be interesting. Now, everybody has their different ideas of where the Cowboys' holes are on this roster, whether it's the running back room, concern on the offensive line, linebacker. I mean, the list is long. Mina Kimes on SportsCenter talked about the major issue for the Cowboys that nobody seems to be talking about.
I'll give you one thing that I think is really important, an area where they struggled last year, and that is the run defense, Al. Last season, they ranked 30th league-wide in success rate, which basically measures how teams perform on a down-to-down basis. They were soft up the middle. I think defensive tackle and linebacker was a serious issue for them. They didn't play with many linebackers on the field under the previous defensive coordinator. Now you've got Mike Zimmer there and Eric Kendricks, who's a veteran linebacker. They're hoping to get a healthy season from DeMarvion Overshawn, who was a rookie last year and didn't play. This matters not just because it always matters, but it particularly matters in the context of an NFC where, as you were saying, the best teams in that conference are very good at running the football. Detroit, San Francisco, Philadelphia. You're not going to get past any of them to the Super Bowl if you can't stop the run.
Haven't we been talking about that?
That's what I was saying. All right, Captain Obvious, you're like Charles Haley. The run defense, and that's why you look at a guy like Mozzie Smith. And what is he going to be able to do to improve? If Sam Williams finally going to step up, and Overshawn is a player that we didn't get to see last year. There were expectations for him last year as a rookie.
Sure,
with the idea that if he can come back and be healthy and be what we thought he was going to be last year, you should see improvement there. Just the way historically Zimmer's defenses have performed. And I say it that way because we've got to see what he's able to do with a guy like Mozzie Smith, who did talk this week to DallasCowboys.com about what Zimmer's defense is like.
It's a familiar defense. Very familiar defense. I know what needs to be done.
Yeah. Okay. Straight to the point, straight like that.
Yeah.
Look, it's going to be interesting because the one thing Mina does bring up is there's a lot of good running football teams in the NFC. And if the Cowboys are going to do anything, they're going to have to stop the run or at least slow it down. When you're looking at Saquon over there in Philly or McCaffrey in San Francisco.
Now, McCaffrey, I'll give you. How concerned are you really with Saquon? Kellen Moore's their offensive coordinator. If anybody that knows Kellen Moore, and you've been a Cowboy fan, you realize he lost his job in Dallas because he didn't run the ball apparently enough for Mike McCarthy. And those were during Zeke's prime years.
Well, I mean, you got to run the football and know who you're playing against.
Mm-hmm.
If you're playing against the Cowboys, they can't stop the run. So you need to game plan for that if you're little Kellen Moore. I mean, he still gets credit like he's like some offensive genius.
Yeah, I think the shine's off him a
little
bit.
I don't know, man. I hear it again today, and it's like, wow, they got Kellen Moore. Like, okay, and
I mean, Kellen Moore. Kellen Moore had Dak Prescott and Zeke Elliott. Then he goes out and he's got Justin Herbert, and now he's got Jalen Hurts and Saquon Barkley.
Right.
And
two great receivers.
And a hell of a receiver room.
Yeah.
And a tight end.
Yes.
Right? If Kellen Moore isn't successful in Philadelphia, you wonder if he can get a high school job.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, let alone being the head coach at Boise State, but you wonder, as bright as that star was a couple of years ago, if you start looking at that track record, if the Eagles aren't very good this year, and I kid about the high school job, but it might be hard for him to go get another coordinator job at the NFL if this year is a disaster. I mean, he might have to go back and be a quarterback coach or something along those lines, because him going to L.A. was supposed to be the springboard for him to become a head coach.
It was.
And it was a disaster.
It was.
And I think he's fortunate to land another coordinator job. You know what I mean?
Well, sure.
But that was supposed to be the springboard is, all right, you thought you were going to be the next. You're not the next here. Move on somewhere else. Do well out there. Get something out of Justin Herbert. Instead, you're a part of a whole staff that got fired.
Well, and again, I mean, excuses or reasons. I'm going to give him a little bit of a break there with because the head coach there was not good.
Well, but
I mean, it was not good at all.
But the head coach is a defensive-minded guy, and Kellen Moore was in charge of the offense.
But how much leeway was he given? I mean, we don't know any of that, and so I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. But it could be the same thing in Philly. You got Sirianni there, who is known to be kind of a donkey, right? I mean, he's not exactly the nicest guy in the world. And, is he going to let Kellen Moore do what Kellen Moore needs to do? But they've got a good, brand new defensive coordinator there, too. So there's a lot happening in Philadelphia. But I can't imagine not using a guy like Saquon Barkley. And if you don't, then you don't deserve another job.
Well, and again, you kind of look at it and you look around the league and, Atlanta, dude, they forgot about Bijan.
Yes.
And Kyle Pitts has been on a milk carton. Remember how good he was supposed to be. And then you look down in Houston and, they're fortunate to have kept their OC.
Yes.
And that staff together.
And they better enjoy that this year because he's probably gone after this one.
Well, same could be said about Ben Johnson in Detroit. I mean,
absolutely.
There were some coordinators that we all thought were going to move on that didn't. And, can the Texans take advantage of keeping that staff together and improving the roster the way they did? Let's talk about the Texans as they kick off their training camp, officially reporting today. Coming up here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Let's talk about Parkhurst New Vision, though, because, I love talking about Parkhurst New Vision. They have changed my life when it comes to my eyesight. It's better now than it's been in 30 years, and I just love it. I can read stories, I can read menus, I can do anything, and I don't need readers, I don't need glasses, don't need contacts, any of that kind of stuff. What I love to see are all the happy patients that I see on social media. You open it up, and there it is. Bam, another happy patient for Dr. Parkhurst and his staff over at Parkhurst New Vision. Look, you can be a part of that happy group as well. All you have to do is get the process started, and to do that, you want to give them a call at 210-585-2020. You can also check them out online at sanantoniolasik.com. When you give them a call, you set up that initial consultation. As soon as you walk through the door, you're going to feel like family, like you're at home. You go in there, let them know that I sent you, Joe Reinagle from the Blitz, and then ask all your questions. They'll explain the procedures and the processes that they're going to take you through, and you're going to feel so comfortable because that's just how they do it at Parkhurst New Vision. Look, let them do for you what they've done for me and so many others. Parkhurst New Vision, the absolute best in the business. Give them a call. Do it today. 210-585-2020.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Thursday on the Morning Huddle, the Dallas Cowboys one day closer to camp. So many questions. We'll try to figure out the answers.
And previewing the final game of Spurs Summer League. Can they finish it 4-0? We'll discuss all that and more. Starts at 6 o'clock.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Mornings 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hi, I'm attorney Steve Benke. If you've made the decision to divorce, you need an experienced attorney who can help. I've helped many people get through divorce, custody, child support, and alimony problems. Call me. I'm attorney Steve Benke.
210-DIVORCE or go to BenkeLaw.com.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
This is it. Shop the Lowe's Closeout event to get up to 70% off select major appliances for your home. Plus, get up to 60% off select patio furniture and accessories for your outdoor spaces. So hurry into your local store today because these deals are too good to last. Shop them now before they're gone because Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows home improvement. Valid through 8/7 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? I think my battery's dead. With free battery testing and charging, we can help you get back on the road.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
So what if I need a new one? We have the right Duralast battery for you, only at AutoZone.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
And what about my old battery? We can recycle it right here at America's #1 battery destination.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
The biggest pro football contests in Vegas are back. Circus Survivor and Circa Million are now up to a record $16 million in guaranteed prizes. 2 ways to win and no rate. Circus Survivor contestants select one team each week with no point spread. Last the longest to win it all with $10 million guaranteed. In Circa Million, make 5 picks against the spread each week for your share of $6 million guaranteed through quarterly and full season payouts. Enter in Nevada. Play from anywhere. Visit circusports.com for details.
Over the past decade, the Roof Hub has proven to be the best place to watch games with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. All the games, all the UFC fights, and when you show up at the Roof Hub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and certainly the best place to watch a game. The Roof Hub is next to the Angry Elephant and in the same plaza as the Big Blind. There at 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roof.
Dave Ramsey here. The only water softener I recommend is a quality water softener from Connecticut. It really is the last water softener you'll ever own.
ConnecticutSA.com.
And tell them Dave Ramsey sent you.
Don't miss limited time doorbusters during Pro Savings Days right now at Lowe's. Starting July 15th for 3 days only, you can save $60 when you buy a DeWalt 12-volt multi-head drill driver. Was $189, now $129. Plus, get 50% off a DeWalt Tough Grip 110-piece screwdriver bit set. Shop these deals and more while supplies last. Because Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. Valid 7/15 through 7/17. Selection varies by location.
With Progressive Snapshot, you could save on auto insurance rates by driving safely, which is great because you're rarely rewarded for just being you. Ever get rewarded for being left-handed? No. You get to use weird scissors. Your reward for being a Capricorn? Cold birthdays that conflict with the holidays. And your reward for quickly responding to every work email? More emails. But with Snapshot, even left-handed Capricorns with proper email etiquette could get rewarded for good driving. So download the Progressive app today. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates. Snapshot not available in all states or from all agents.
The Morning Huddle.
How about that noise that the crowd made? Oh. It's like Hank Hill when he sees Bobby sending a Valentine to his Oh.
The Morning Huddle with AJ and Rob. Weekday mornings 6 to 10. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
This is Jim Rome, and you're listening to 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinigle, I'm Jason. Texans report to camp today. Cowboys, they'll get to Oxnard in a week. And as we talk about the Cowboys and little Kellen Moore, Gabe wants to talk about Kellen Moore. Gabe, you're on the Blitz, 210-656-3776. What's up, Gabe?
What's going on, guys? Good to talk to y'all, gentlemen. It's been a while. No, when I saw that Kellen Moore signed with the Eagles, I thought, man, Eagles are so smart. I mean, whether or not this was calculated or not, Kellen Moore has been in our system and our locker in the facility in Dallas for so long. I think it's a great move by them and not a good move by us. To let him go like that, when he went to the Chargers, that was fine. It was another conference, another division. But right there in the division, I think it's a good move for the Eagles and not good for the Cowboys. What do you guys think?
Gabe, it goes both ways because, while he might understand what the Cowboys are doing and can certainly game plan well and knows Dak and those guys, he'll probably spend some time those weeks of the Cowboys-Eagles games with the defensive coaches, sharing what he knows. But it goes both ways. The Cowboys know what Kellen Moore likes to do. And, even though he switched teams, the tendencies are all there. And I think one of the bright spots for the Cowboys, if you will, is Mike Zimmer is going to completely change the defense. So, same thing. I'm sure Mike McCarthy will spend some time with him on little nuances that Kellen Moore has and his tendencies that will help Zimmer out. So it goes both ways. I mean, the NFL is such a small world and everybody knows everybody. And you start looking at the different coaching trees and you realize, oh yeah, this guy worked with that guy here. And this guy was there. I mean, you go back and you think about all the great offensive coaches now, from McVay to Shanahan to Slowick to all these that were with Washington at one point. I mean, they all kind of know each other.
Well, and Cowboys had nothing to do with it, right? I mean, the guy goes from L.A. to Philly. I mean, there's not a lot
go
the
and he
Cowboys
got a job in L.A. I mean, if he would have instantly went over there, I mean, it's not quite the same as.
I don't think they're worried about it, though, is what I'm saying.
I mean, they're not losing sleep.
No, they're not.
It's very different. Like if you were watching Hard Knocks last night with the Giants, and of course we know how the story plays out, but seeing the what's the word? Seeing the reactions. Like we know Saquon is with the Eagles, but seeing on Hard Knocks their efforts in trying to keep him, they didn't want to lose him, but they weren't going to overpay him. All those, and then the owner's like, yeah, as long as he doesn't go to Philadelphia. I mean, the kick in the nuts that was to the New York Giants front office staff. That's different because that is a guy, unlike Kellen Moore coaching or any other coach that's going against his former team. Let's talk about when the Cowboys play Washington twice. Oh, it's Dan Quinn. You know, a player can have more of an impact in those situations and play with a chip on his shoulders a lot more than a coach, I think, because you can only do with what your players.
I don't think it matters at all. I mean, I really don't. I don't think it matters one bit. And so don't worry about it. Even with Dan Quinn, it's not going to matter. The players are going to do what they do on the field. It's kind of like somebody told me this reason they brought in Trey Lance was to give them some.
Yeah.
No, they didn't. It doesn't matter.
But that does happen.
It doesn't make any difference. I mean, nobody's going to be, well, we're rigid. We're going to stick with this and we're going to do that. You do what you do. And even if the Cowboys or the Eagles or anybody else knows what you're going to do, they still got to stop it. And there's no guarantee that they're going to stop it. A lot of times, teams know exactly what the play's coming, and they just can't stop it.
True.
So it none of that to me matters. It's the National Football League. The coaches are the best in the business. The players are the best in the business. And I just don't think I don't put any stock in any of that kind of stuff, and I don't think it matters. So the Eagles will kick the Cowboys' ass whether Kellen Moore's there or not.
Wow.
Oh, wait a minute. Did I say that out loud?
You son of a...
Did I say that out loud? I didn't mean to.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
you did.
They'll split.
Yes, you did.
They'll split.
And that's probably likely.
Yes.
Although Schoonmaker
would
would have fell into the end zone last year.
Schoonmaker.
Or Dak doesn't step out of bounds.
What a wasted number 2 pick.
Here we go.
Jeez.
That doesn't take long.
Here we go. I don't get it.
Will we talk with Schoonmaker on the Blitz from Oxnard?
Will we?
Yes.
We can ask for him.
I mean, do you want to?
Well, sure. What do you want me to say? Do you agree with me, Luke, that the Cowboys wasted a number 2 pick on you?
Are you kidding? Luke's going to sit down and you'll be like,
I love you, Dad.
Luke.
Yeah, whatever. No, look, I'm not going to embarrass the guy.
Embarrass the guy.
Embarrass the guy.
Call him a gadget guy?
No, that's Deuce Vaughn. And I actually did. He wasn't directly in my face, but he was around.
He was standing right behind us. I mean, the Cowboys PR staff had this whole thing set up. I was going to take a picture with Deuce Vaughn.
That's right.
Because I don't tower over many NFL players. Brendan Holiday is the one. So I was going to take a picture with Deuce. Cowboys PR had it all set up. He's standing right there waiting for us to finish, and you are just ripping this kid.
I wasn't ripping him. I was just saying he's a gadget guy.
He sucks. He won't make the team. He was a wasted pick. He sucks. He's a gadget guy. He shouldn't be in an NFL camp, but he's standing right behind us.
Exactly. And all of those things are true.
And
I'll be surprised.
I didn't get my picture.
I'll be shocked if he's with the Cowboys after this training camp.
Really?
Yeah.
After this training camp?
Yes.
Then who are they going to have at running back? I mean, because right now they have 2.5.
Well, do you honestly want to put poor little Deuce Vaughn in the backfield again where he can just get flattened like a pancake?
I mean, there is a place for Deuce Vaughn.
There is?
Yeah, with the new kickoff return rules,
perhaps.
He's going to have a job because of that.
That could happen. That could very well happen.
Especially if Turpin is more of a regular offensive role player they might not want him on special teams as much. So I do see a spot for Deuce Vaughn.
I would much rather, and I will tell you this right now, see Turpin as the 3 wide receiver than any of the Jalens, unless they step it up. And who else do they have? I think Turpin is a guy that is still hungry. He's got great speed. I'd like to see him as their number 3 guy. I think he's going to get that opportunity.
I don't know if he'll be the 3.
Well, who will be?
Well, the Cowboys are hoping it's Tolbert.
Well, they're hoping that,
I mean,
sure.
But again, and will Tolbert be able to take that next step?
That's the question.
I mean, the idea with Michael Gallup gone, and Tolbert, in limited opportunities last year, was better than he was, say, his rookie year.
Which ain't saying much.
Well, but you've seen improvement. But maybe if he's literally the 3 because Gallup isn't there and he's getting the reps, you'll see that improvement.
Perhaps.
And quite honestly, and I don't care what they say, it's what we see when we're in Oxnard. It's one of the great benefits of going to camp and watching practice.
No doubt.
Because when you're watching, especially, I mean, the drills are the drills, but when you're seeing the guys do the work, you could tell who Dak trusts and who he doesn't.
Yeah, true.
And who's getting passes when it doesn't matter, if that makes sense. When they're just running routes, there's things that are going on. You know, it's one thing if I hear Jalen went over to Dak's house on his football field and threw. Right, you've got to do that. But you're also a warm body there that Dak is going to throw with. But does he trust you? That becomes the real question. And we've seen that through the years, going back to Tony Romo and Hell Troy. I mean, but when you're at practice, you can kind of see who the quarterback really likes. And when I say likes, trust, if he trusts you. So
absolutely,
we'll get an idea of the trust factor. Because there was a guy a couple years ago, Fehoko, that we all thought was going to get a chance. But we saw it in camp. It's like, I don't know if Dak trusts that guy.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
And where's he at now?
Yeah.
And that is such a big part of who makes it and who doesn't. Does the quarterback believe in you? Is he going to throw you the ball?
That's huge. And you're right. We will see that, especially in the scrimmages between the first teams, first team offense, first team defense. That makes a big difference. It really does. And so we'll see. I think Turpin, though, made some strides as well at wide receiver last year. The guy can fly, and I think he's going to get that opportunity. And if I'm Cavante Turpin, I'm going into camp this year thinking that that's my job, and I'm going after it.
You're more than just the jet sweep gadget guy.
Absolutely.
And that becomes it, because I mean, the Cowboys, going back to Dwayne Harris and some of those other guys, every time you saw him, you knew jet sweep was coming.
Right.
Well, Dwayne Harris is checking in the game. Here comes jet sweep.
Yes, exactly. Exactly right. So that's going to be a battle to watch. Obviously, the running back battle is going to be one to watch. Although I have to believe, if they don't bring somebody else in, and that's an if, and I think a lot of people think that the starting running back is not on the roster just yet, but I think Rico Dowdle is going to be the number 1 guy. Maybe Zeke starts the game, but I think Rico Dowdle is going to get the majority of the carries as it sits now.
And I said this when there was talk about him coming back, and the fact that they haven't brought in any other running backs. Zeke will get playing time as a blocker. His pass protection skills are incredible. And with issues on the offensive line, his value isn't what he does running the ball. It's how he can help protect Dak Prescott, how he can help save a swing and a miss by one of those rookie offensive linemen. And again, I know it's funny you say that, right? But he's not making a lot of money, but there's going to be issues on the offensive line. There's growing pains. If you've got 2 rookies that are going to end up starting on that offensive line, having a solid blocking back becomes an insurance policy that you have to have.
There's no question. I agree with that completely. But I think Jerry and Mike McCarthy, and I can't wait to see Zeke and see what he looks like. Obviously, he's going to come in great shape. I have no doubt about that. But I think Zeke's going to want the football more than than that. I think he's going to want to carry the football more than that. So that's going to be interesting to watch when we're out there as well.
Any short yardage goal line situation, Zeke, you're up.
I think he's going to want it more than that.
Well, I know he will, but I think the year away probably did him some good.
Could have.
And, kind of stealing back from Hard Knocks. They didn't want to make a disrespectful offer. Nothing left, or not a lot left in the tank, where Saquon still does. But he left, he came back. He understands the role now. He knows he's not back in the same role that he was in.
Well, let's face it, too. I mean, Zeke was on a pretty bad football team last year.
Mm-hmm.
So that could have made a little bit of a difference. And so we'll see what happens with Mr. Elliott.
Known hell versus unknown hell.
That's it.
That's what it boils down to for Zeke. Extra innings with pledge is coming up next. You got to go a whole hour?
Wow.
Guy can barely breathe.
Uh-huh.
He's been hacking up 3 lungs.
He has.
It's going to be an entertaining hour.
Should be.
At least you're not contagious through the radio.
Well, you're not.
Although when you listen to him, you wonder if you're just going to catch a cold listening to him suffer.
He's a big boy. He's fine. He's playing through the pain. See, he doesn't go on IR. Doesn't take the day off. He's here.
He's here.
Yeah.
He's here.
So when you're sick in New York tomorrow,
I won't be. I won't be. I'm going nowhere near that guy. I blame Miss Becky.
Yeah.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. Extra innings with pledge coming up next. If you're having any issues at your house with your plumbing, your AC, there is one company to call, and that is Quartermoon Plumbing, Heating, and AC. 210-651-5899. At Quartermoon, they are experts at worst-case scenarios. Big